Hello, everybody. Welcome to Weekly Trash, the safe place to cleanse your mind, body, and soul of all that trash you consume this week so you could consume some more tomorrow. I'm your host, Josie Van Dyke, and today I have someone very special next to me, Rylee Jenkins, everybody.
Thank you.
Welcome to Weekly Trash.
Thank you so much for having me.
I feel like this has been a long time coming because I've always wanted you on, and you came to my Weekly Trash party when I sold merch. You brought indie. I feel like you've been with me since the beginning.
I think I've listened to like almost, if not every single episode,
which I'm so flattered, and I just love you.
It.
I love you.
I'm like, I'm gonna know things about you that you think I might not know about you because I've listened to everything.
Which is like,
so good luck.
I kind of forget that people know things about me because I word vomit.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, crap, did I say that?
I said that.
It's a good thing my husband doesn't listen because he'd be like, you told everybody that?
Like, you would be like,
yeah, I did.
Like, yeah, sorry.
But it's fine. Rylee, you are blowing up on social media. You have been for quite a bit. You are a vlogging queen.
I am. It's so much work.
I don't know how you do it. I really don't. I want to get into it, but I also want to get to know you on like a way deeper level. So we're going to do a dumpster deep dive.
I'm honestly so excited because I was just telling my TikTok, I was like,
oh, I watched.
I'm going on there and you guys don't know. Basically, you don't know anything.
Yeah, I feel like you are very private with like your personal life.
Kind of.
Like not to the day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
But like kind of like your background, like where you came from and like
what
made you who you are.
Sometimes I feel like it's not that interesting. And so sometimes I'll do like Q&As and like I'll answer those questions.
Right.
But they don't always ask like, where did you grow up? Yeah. How did you grow up? Like all of the questions that we're going to get into. So
I'm excited.
I'm excited because I'm like, I have kind of a cool story. That's something that I love about your podcast is that it puts people like me, like influencers who only show little snippets of their life in a different perspective because you only see so little, and then when you do a deep dive with them you're like, oh really?
No, seriously.
Wow, you've been through all of that.
It's
like
the best part.
Yeah, I love it.
So
I'm excited. I'm like, I'm gonna give you everything about my growing up and everything. And
we got the tissues because you're like, I might cry, and I'm like, if you cry, I cry. So we got the tissues.
I start crying now.
Like, okay, it's too soon. Let's go. But let's start from the very beginning. Where are you from?
Okay, so I grew up. This is an interesting question because when I was younger, all the way up until I was like 9 years old, I moved almost yearly. So
How come?
Listen, I don't know.
You don't.
Ask my parents.
You weren't in like
I have
the military or
no.
anything.
But it was in Utah. So I've lived in like Provo, Linden, Alpine, Orem. I've lived down in Ephraim. We even moved down to St. George at one point.
Okay.
And moving back from St. George, my dad's job had fallen through. And so this is a big story. So let's go into it. So I was 9 years old when we stopped moving. And the reason why was because we moved all of our stuff down to this house in St. George. And then 2 weeks later, like I said, the job fell through. And so we were moving back, and we were moving back in just like a big U-Haul truck.
Yeah. How many siblings do you have?
I have 6.
Okay. And all 6 were born at this time?
No, my mom was pregnant with the last.
Okay.
With Joey.
Okay.
So me and my dad and 2 brothers all packed into this U-Haul, and it's only like a 3-seater truck. Okay.
Squished in there.
Squished in there. My dad always said like, oh, I don't need to wear my seatbelt because I have the steering wheel to hold on to. You can probably see where this is going.
Okay.
Anyway, we get on the road and we're driving, and my mom is driving our Suburban and pulling our boat, and she's driving back with 2 of my other siblings. Anyway, so my dad pulls over. He's feeling tired. Okay, so we pull over on just like on the side of like an on-ramp, and he like tries to take a nap for, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. And then after that, we're like back on the road. And so we're back on the road, and I get this like feeling like to put my seatbelt on.
Yeah.
So I put my seatbelt on, and my dad still has the same feeling about his whatever, so he doesn't put his seatbelt on. And then my two brothers are in the middle seat, which is just one seat.
Right.
The seatbelt's not working.
Okay.
So we're driving, and I fall asleep because it's just road trip. I'm tired. And I start like, I'm sleeping, but I'm like kind of awake, and I'm like hitting my head, like with my eyes closed. And when I wake up, I'm standing in the cab of the U-Haul. And let me try to describe this, because where I'm standing in the cab is my feet are where the passenger seat window is.
Okay.
And the top side is the driver's window. Okay, so
it was flipped.
We had gotten in a rollover accident.
Oh my gosh.
In Beaver. So where it's like all those like windy roads. And it was one of the roads that was like curving, and like as it curved, it like dipped super far. So we rolled like 3 times.
Oh
and
my
so
gosh.
I wake up, I look down, and on half of the, like looking down through the window's like broken out.
Right.
I can see my little brother's face, like half of my little brother's face. And he's like bleeding.
Yeah.
And so my first thought is, I don't know, 9 years old, I've heard like people be in these types of things and like be able to lift cars off of people.
Okay, yeah.
So that's what I do. I like try to lift it up, and even a little bit, to try to get him to move out.
At 9 years old.
Yeah. And he's 4, I think.
Okay.
And he's like trying to like wiggle, and
so he's
like,
awake.
He's awake. He's not dead. He's
stuck,
crying, and he's stuck, and he can't get out from underneath this truck. And I remember that there was people around, but I didn't realize because I couldn't see anything. The windshield was shattered and everything, so I couldn't see out it. And I remember seeing somebody jump up to the top window, and I like started screaming at them like, my brother's under there, because they're like on top of him.
Could you see anyone else other than your little brother?
No, so I could only see my little brother, and then I could only see the guy who had jumped up.
Couldn't
and
see your
like,
dad and your other brother.
No, couldn't see them. Don't know where they were.
Okay.
So the guy told me that they like told me through. The guy jumped off, and then they told me like, hey, like the ambulance, there's a coming. Like, come out here and let's like call your mom, or like call somebody for you.
Yeah.
And so I get out, and I think the first thing that I did was, well, I was in shock.
Right.
Somebody put their jacket around me, and like gave me their cell phone. And I called my mom, and the guy talked to her and just said like what had happened.
Because was she ahead of you guys?
She was ahead of us because my dad had taken a nap.
That's right.
Yeah. And so he like had a conversation with her, and while he was talking to her, I had just like started walking around the truck, and what you can see is my dad or like part of the truck is like ripped open, and my dad is like laying on a piece of metal, and there's like so many people there. Actually, there's somebody helping him like keep him awake. And then so he's like on the truck. My other little brother, he's 3 years younger than me, so he was probably 6. He was like further in like a bush. They said that he got ejected like 45 feet or something crazy.
Oh my gosh.
This is like remembering from when I was 9, so maybe it wasn't that big, but it was.
No,
he was sure, in a bush somewhere.
Because you were probably going at least 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, and my dad, they found out that he had fallen asleep with his eyes open, so he was like, "This is not good." So that's kind of where the story begins of like us stopping moving so much.
Yeah,
because we had to have help. So
everyone survived.
Yeah, so I'll keep going.
Okay.
So the ambulance gets there, and they were able to dig my little brother out of underneath of the truck, put a board underneath him, strap it to him somehow, and pull him out.
Okay.
My other little brother in the bush, he was okay. They put them in the ambulance, and I think they took me with them, and then took my dad in a separate ambulance. And then when we got to the hospital in Beaver, oh, by the way, I didn't even get hurt.
That's so crazy.
Like, not even a scratch.
Like, you walked away from that.
Like, nothing. Like, no, nothing. So we get to the hospital, and my brothers, my youngest brother, who the truck was on top of, they think that he has internal bleeding maybe in his stomach. And my other little brother, who's 6, they think that he has a crack in his skull. And then my dad, he like had torn all of his muscle away from his spine and broken ribs and like broken back.
Yeah. Because he had no seatbelt either. So
He had no seatbelt. So they went out the windows.
yeah.
And I was the only one that stayed in. So wear your seatbelts, kids.
Yeah, which you promote a lot of like seatbelt health, car safety, car seats.
Really, like car seat safety, like that's mostly what I promote, because I get a lot of comments like your kids aren't supposed to be sitting rear facing, like, and it's like
that's the safest place.
I won't judge you, but that's the safest place. I'm gonna put my baby there.
Yeah.
But anyway, they life flight my brothers to Primary Children's, and they somehow, when they get there, they redo the scans that they had taken, and nothing's wrong with them except one of my brothers has a broken foot.
No way. That's it.
And then my dad still had like all of his stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure he was like, was he ever in the ICU?
I don't think so. They kept him in the Beaver hospital.
So obviously the Beaver hospital was well equipped enough for him.
I think so.
So probably not the ICU then.
I think so. And my mom is actually like, when was this? I think it was June. My mom was due in July.
Oh my gosh.
So they had to like stop her labor contractions and everything and like get her under control. And sad enough for her, she, like the guy who she had talked to on the phone had told her exactly where they were and had sent her back to the scene of the accident. And we were all gone because we were in the like you should have just sent her to the hospital, but she like saw everything.
How traumatic.
So traumatizing for her. And
so after that, the accident, where did you live?
Okay, so after that accident, we moved back to Orem.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And we moved into one of my uncle's houses that he owned, just like one of the rentals, because now nobody is able to work, basically. Yeah. My mom's like almost giving birth.
Yeah, and your dad's
and my
in the hospital.
Yeah, my dad's in the hospital, but I don't know when, but eventually he came back to the house, and he's like on all of the pain pills and everything too. Right. Which was kind of a funny time in our life because he was on those pain pills. Like sometimes he would hallucinate and like
just be a little out of it.
It'd be a little bit out of it and be like, the ants are coming to get me. Like it's the speckles in the carpet.
You're like, Dad,
Dad, can you just chill?
A moment.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a crazy time in our life, because then after that, Taylor and I, my older sister, she's 31. We're like so close. Sometimes I forget.
Because how old are you?
I'm 29.
Okay, yeah.
25. Almost 30.
I love it.
July is my birthday. So, but because at that time in our life, my mom had the baby, and me and my sister basically like took care of the newborn. Yeah. She had jaundice a little bit. That's what it's called.
Yeah, jaundice. Yeah.
And so you think of like a 9
and 11-year-old.
Actually, I just turned 10 because she's one day. Her birthday's one day after mine.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, close enough.
Yeah, 10 and 11.
Little 10-year-old, like taking care of a newborn. Like I would take her out on the tramp, and I would jump with her. Just kidding. I would lay her out in the sun and like make sure that she got her sun and everything for the day. And me and my sister, for a long time, I feel like we were like
the moms.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Until my mom was better, because my mom is really great, and she's like,
yeah, she had 6 kids.
Right. I'm like, I ask her all the time, like, how did you do 6 kids? But anyway, that's like kind of one of the beginnings of like our story.
Like your story.
Yeah.
So were you guys members of the church? Because that's a question a lot of people asked in your question box, was if you were raised LDS.
They always ask me that.
I feel like it's so weird because anywhere else that's not a normal question to ask. But here in Utah, it's like so appropriate. And it's like, is it?
It's inappropriate. I'm just kidding. But I'll answer it because I was baptized in the church, and for some reason, I don't know if it's like the trauma of the accident that I went through, but a lot of my, like, I can remember scenes from my childhood, but I can't remember a lot of it.
Yeah. You probably got a concussion or something.
Yeah, maybe.
You had to.
They probably checked me, and I don't know, because I was hitting my head.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea what happened. I don't remember.
So
I remember only that my knees kind of hurt, but I didn't have like scrapes or like, maybe I got bruises. I don't know. But like,
it's kind of a blessing that you were asleep, because it'd probably be way more traumatic for you to have seen everything happen.
I think about that. I'm like, could you imagine being like trying to like
keep
them in?
Yeah, watching them fly out. Oh, that would have been
so bad.
So traumatic.
So bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I've definitely thought of that. But growing up, I did get baptized when I was 8. But I think like from 8 to like 12, I'm pretty sure my parents were exploring different religions. I don't really know what, because I wasn't old enough. Yeah. I haven't really asked them.
Yeah.
Because my mom is like strict Mormon now, like goes to church, like all the stuff.
Gotcha.
But from that time, I don't remember going to church consistently until I was like 12 years old. And so growing up from, you think like 12, I think it's like 12, 13-year-olds are like the oldest in the primary, right? I always felt so out of place because like even just singing the songs with them, like I didn't know the songs.
Yeah.
Right. Because
you hadn't been there for so long.
I hadn't been there. And so I just felt awkward being there initially, but eventually I like got into it and was like doing it. But I remember when I was 19, I started like questioning things, and I was like, Mom, like this is so weird, but I think I need, like, do the missionaries need to come over? Like, what's wrong with me? Like, why am I questioning this? And anyway, I never met with the missionaries.
Yeah.
So I left the church when I was 20. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, but like growing up, like you definitely had that in your life.
Yes.
But it's not present anymore. But that was like back when you were younger.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're growing up with your family, after the accident, obviously that was like a huge traumatic thing that happened in your guys' lives. How was life after the accident? Like, how long did it take for your dad to get better to where he could work? Did it ever get better? What was that like?
So something that happened after the accident, and I think maybe my mom just took this and like ran with it. They had a food storage business when we were before the accident.
Yeah.
And they just like kind of would do it on the side. My dad was a seminar speaker, actually.
Okay.
And so while my dad was gone, like my mom was taking care of all of the kids and like
that's
doing
wild.
That on the side. And then okay, so for my dad to recover, I think my mom just kind of like dug her heels in that, and that's when their business started doing maybe a little bit better. I don't really remember really well, but he was on those pain medications, and he previous in his life was actually an alcoholic.
Okay.
But had been sober for like years. So he's like has an addictive personality. And he, from those pain meds that he had to be on, he like got addicted to those, and he struggled with that like he struggled with that for a long time, at least I don't know, 10 years after that.
And did it affect how he was as a father, how he was able to like provide financially? Or was he a functioning addict?
So he was pretty functioning. I feel like with my mom and their like food storage business, it was at home anyway. And so he would just like answer the phone, take the sales and I mean, he was always in sales, so he would take the calls and like make the sales and like he did
Right.
well at it, and he did fine. And my mom did all of the back end admin stuff and everything. And I think she would take phone calls as well. So their business actually did really well for a while. But eventually, like, I don't know when. They were actually really good at like keeping it from us kids. So I actually don't know, and like don't really know if I saw a lot firsthand, and like
Okay.
if he was high or like using or whatever.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really notice.
Gotcha. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit just because I don't know, but I do know that your dad ended up passing away.
Yeah.
Was this a recent or was this during all of this?
No, so it's crazy. He was like been through so much. But he actually passed away from cancer.
Really? And when was that?
It was almost a year ago.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That's fresh.
It's
That's
fresh.
really fresh.
It's fresh.
Cancer
I feel like it just doesn't ever get better either. But the
Yeah.
craziest thing is that he was diagnosed like 6 weeks before he died.
Really?
Yeah. And the annoying thing is that okay, so a little bit about him. He was overweight a lot of his life, and he went and he got a gastric bypass surgery. So that was like way, like, I don't know, way long ago before he passed away. But that's relevant because it's annoying. He was taking ibuprofen, and you're not supposed to when you've had a gastric bypass surgery, because
Right,
it like
clots. Right?
I think it like can eat the lining of your stomach, and
Okay.
it's like worse for people who have had that surgery.
Well, you can't take it when you're pregnant either.
Yeah, you can't take it when you're pregnant. Yeah, and then you can't take it if you've had a surgery like that. Well, that was his favorite out of Tylenol and ibuprofen, so he would take ibuprofen. Eventually, he got like a hole in his stomach.
Wow.
And they fixed it, and this was like a year prior. And then right after that, he had like a staph infection in his back, which he was in the hospital for. And then and so the reason why these things are so annoying, that he had stage 4 cancer, and he had
never picked up on that.
And he had just been in the hospital multiple times. He also got kidney stones all the time. And they just like never picked up on that. And he had
what kind of cancer was he diagnosed with?
So he was diagnosed with I think it was liver. Okay, now I'm like blanking, but it's like liver. It was the lining of his stomach. It was prostate cancer. So it was like all over the place.
It spread everywhere.
It was bad. And so when they had like figured out that it was bad, it was like almost, well, it was too late.
Yeah.
Basically.
So he didn't do surgery. Did he do chemo?
He didn't do chemo. So when he started his downfall, he had gone in for a biopsy for his liver to see if it was cancerous.
Yeah.
And he had really bad side effects from that, like such bad pain. And the sad thing is that he hadn't been on, like, as far as I know, he hadn't been on pain meds for
a couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know how long. I know that he'd gotten pretty good at like weaning off of them. But the problem is that I feel like everybody in our family is this way, where we metabolize pain meds. And even when I'm at the dentist, like whatever the numbing stuff
it wears off quick.
It wears off really fast, or like it doesn't even work. Like I can take Percocet and it just makes me fall asleep, but it doesn't take the pain away.
I'm the same way.
How
was your epidural?
My epidural actually worked.
Oh, well, that's good.
I was like pressing the button all
like,
press,
as much. I need more. Yeah.
So the thing that was really sad is that anytime he was in a lot of pain in the hospital, it was really hard to get his pain under control. And I'm a very assertive person, and so like I always had to be there, like fighting for him to like get
him more morphine,
get their pain management team in here, get their whatever X amount to like make sure that they're doing their stuff.
Yeah.
Because like
watching him in pain was probably unbearable.
Oh, it's so sad. And it's like they have to do it slowly too, because they don't want to overdose them.
Right.
And so it like takes a while for them to figure out the certain concoction to be able to get the pain under control. So that was a really hard night because he got the biopsy, and then that night he was in so much pain. And like me and Taylor were there, and you're just like watching him like, no, you know, when you're in so much pain, like it's so hard to breathe.
Yeah.
Like he was like that for hours.
So watching him pass, were you guys there?
Okay, so when he passed, it was like 6 weeks later from that. We had to make the hard decision to put him in hospice because he needed to have certain pain meds to be able to control the pain until he passed.
Yeah.
And they like the drugs that they were giving him were things that he couldn't take if he wasn't on hospice.
Right. He needed all around care, and
he needed all around care. Yes, and everything. And so it was so hard to make that decision because, and he just wanted to go home, which was sad.
They just want their bed.
But it's like, you can't. Also, we skipped a part because my parents got divorced. So they're not living together.
Okay, so
they got
he lives
divorced
by
when I
himself.
was 18. Yeah, he
Okay.
lives by himself. And there's nobody there to take care of him. And even when he was in hospice, like he fell once. Like, come on, nobody would find you.
Yeah.
For days. I mean, obviously we would come over and there would be like
Right.
nurses that would
But
come.
it needs to be
still,
like immediate.
it needs to be like 24 hours. So,
Yeah.
and he was 64, but it was really sad to like watch him like deteriorate.
Yeah.
But it was really, the day he died, I was there, but I had like visited him for the day and like left. And it was kind of cute because like saying somebody's passing is cute, but it was cute because
It was a moment with you guys.
my two brothers were there, and they had given him a blessing, and just like a blessing of peace, and that like he could let go.
Yeah.
And like right as they like said that, like he took his last breath. And so
It was like a peaceful
yeah.
moment.
Yeah. And I know like death is hard, but I am grateful that it like wasn't instant.
Yeah.
Because it's like so hard either way.
You got those moments. You got to say
You
goodbye.
got those moments. Like I would put Indy to bed. I'd go spend the night with him and like watch shows or like bring him snacks or like, you know,
Yeah.
just like hang out and like do things that he wants to do or
Yeah.
like I know that he likes to do, even when he wasn't feeling like good at all.
Right.
It was really sad though too because his body like wasn't working at the end, and the pain
Yeah.
medication wasn't working, and so it was so sad because he was in so much pain at the end. So
Yeah.
anytime like we went to visit him, we like knew it could be
Could
the
be
last
the last.
time. Yeah, so it was really sad because
He got to meet Indy. He got to be
Yes.
part of Indy's life, and
I was actually so grateful because the year before that, he had finally gotten his like what's it called, social security.
like the money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
So like after he divorced my mom, he had a hard time like keeping a job and everything. So
Yeah.
like he had a really hard time, and he like finally got his social security, and he didn't really like have to work or anything. And so I was so grateful because the summer before he passed, we would hang out like 2 to 3 times a week, be at the pool. He was like my tanning buddy. We were like best friends. So it makes it even harder.
Yeah.
But he like got to know Indy, and he like, she has a bunch of different like stuffies and stuff that he's bought her. And so it's like things that I can keep
For
or
sure.
that she has like from him forever.
Yeah. That's amazing that you were so close to him.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times, thanks for passing tissues around. You know, like I'm close to my dad, but I'm definitely not a daddy's girl. Like,
Yeah, I was definitely a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
Like I would go on, my dad was obsessed with Lake Powell.
okay.
We always had a boat. And my sisters would always stay with my mom when he would like take the boys on like boys trips, and I would go with them.
You would go. Yeah.
I was like a tomboy, like always wanted to be with the boys type girl.
Yeah. And now are you guys still, I feel like you guys seem really close. Are you
Our
really
family?
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
I
Our
feel like you
family's
guys are really
Our
close.
family's really close. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
really nice.
But you guys have each other.
It's a blessing. Yeah. I really love my family. My siblings are great.
Well, let's pivot to something a little lighter and happier.
Sounds great.
But
I thought I would cry more. So we're doing good.
That's good. Well, maybe we still got time. We still have more questions. So,
oh shit.
How did you meet your husband?
Okay. Connor, I met at work.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how old were you at that point?
I was 19 when I met him.
And how old were you when you got married?
We got married when I was 20.
20.
Yeah.
Hey, same.
Yeah.
We're twins.
Our story is kind of cute. Do you want me to tell you about it?
Let's hear it. This is the place.
I know. I'm like, do you want me to tell you all these stories? Let's go.
We love it.
Okay. So, Connor and I met, and I used to be a ballroom dancer.
Oh, no way.
So from like 14 to 19, I did ballroom dance. I just started ballroom dance at my middle school and then took it through high school. And then I was on like the BYU youth team.
No way.
But then I also had like my own individual partner that I would compete with. And we would just like have private lessons with different coaches that were good. Anyway, so I had an opportunity. I got recruited at nationals to go teach dance in like stuffy.
No, you're good. Do you want me to mute you and you can blow your nose?
No, I don't like blowing my nose. It ruins my makeup.
Oh, I know. Then
let me just sniff it up and swallow it.
Same, because if I blow my nose is like white and everything else is orange.
So sorry about the sniffling. It's gonna continue.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, so I got an opportunity to move to New Jersey and teach dance for Dance With Me.
Okay.
And that company is owned by like some of the Dancing with the Stars guys, Val, Max, and Tony.
Oh, very cool.
And so I was like, that's so cool. Like I can go to New Jersey.
New Jersey's really close to New York City.
Take lessons in New York City. I was 2 miles away from New York City.
So you went.
So I went.
I'm jealous.
Yes.
That's a cool experience.
But with our story, like I had started dating Connor a week before I was like planned to leave. Like I was leaving. I started dating him on like a Tuesday and I was planned to leave on like Saturday or Sunday.
Oh, no way.
So it was so crazy because we were texting and stuff before, but I didn't like start actually dating with him. And I was like, well, you know, we ain't got no time, so we're going on a date every day this week. And I like
we're gonna fall in love before I leave.
I literally like went on a date with him Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like hung out 24/7. Like Love Is Blind over here, but not Love Is Blind. But it was like you were together 24/7. Like we would work and then we'd leave and we'd be together.
Yeah.
And so we continued to date for like the 3 months that I was out there. And we would just like date via Skype? I think it was Skype.
Skype, text,
Skype,
those things.
text, everything.
Long distance.
The long distance
makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes, like I'd call him at 10 a.m. in the morning and wake him up for work. Oh. Little did I know, he literally just went back to sleep and I was wasting my time. But he just like let me think that I was waking him up because it's like 8 a.m. his time. But anyway, so we were dating and he came out to New Jersey and we actually stayed in New York and he came out for my birthday, which was in July, and we hung out for that whole week. And then I think like 2 weeks later I told Dance With Me, like, peace out, I quit, I'm gonna go get my husband. I'm like, I'm gonna go marry this guy.
Yeah, so you knew, you were like, I'm marrying him.
Yeah, but it was a hard decision for me because I was like, I either stay here, this is a place to be a professional ballroom dancer if I want it.
Yeah.
If I want it, and I'm gonna have to work for it because I'm already not the best right now. Like I was good, but I wasn't like amazing. You know, I wasn't like a Jenna or like a Lindsay or Whitney. Like I wasn't that good, but I could have been. Yeah, you know, I could have done well in the professional world, but it was like, do I want the professional like dance life? Like you're not gonna have a family for a little while if you're doing that. or do I like take this opportunity?
Yeah.
And so after he had come, it was like an easy decision.
Yeah,
I was
you're
like, I'm going back.
I'm getting married at 20.
And so I drove by myself
Cross country.
I drove like 16 hours. And then I stayed in like Wisconsin maybe. And my dad had booked me a hotel, and I only stayed there for like 4 hours. Showered. I smelled so bad. I'm like, I never had smelled so bad in my life.
Driving that long by yourself.
It's crazy. And then I drove 16 hours more. And
wow.
I had surprised everybody except for Connor's mom.
Okay. And your dad, because your dad knew.
Oh, and my dad
booked the hotel.
Yeah, and I don't think my mom knew.
And
so I got home and I like pulled up, and my sister was like freaking out, Taylor, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go shower and get ready, and I need you to take me to Connor's house because I can't drive anymore because I just drove 16 hours.
Yeah.
Like when I got home, it had been 16 hours. And so she's like, okay. And Connor doesn't know, and he lived in Sandy, so he grew up in Sandy and went to Hillcrest.
Oh, he went to Hillcrest. I was like, did he go to Alta?
No.
Or Hillcrest. Okay.
No, maybe he would know you if he did.
Yeah.
But I was like texting his mom, and Connor had just like gotten back from the gym and everything, and I like show up, and she's like, I tried to tell you to take a shower.
Here we are.
Here's your
babe
boy. So like he went and took a shower and everything, but it was fun because I like surprised him that way, and I guess like the rest is history. We got married. He proposed February 15th because he's a brat.
The day
like,
after Valentine's Day.
I can't be predictable.
Yeah.
Right.
No, totally.
And then
Valentine's Day, you're expecting it the whole day, and then
yes, he got me like
day.
so many roses.
It's like, I gotta tie my shoe. You're like, stop tying your shoe and getting on your knee. You're confusing me.
Right. And then we got married May 3rd. So we'll be married 9 years in May.
That's crazy. 9 years is a long time.
That's a long ass time.
We're 7 years on Saturday or Sunday.
That's so soon.
I know.
Is it May on Saturday?
No,
May.
it's April 23rd.
Oh, okay. I'm like, is it May? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just lose track of my days.
Especially with the weather, it's so confusing. It could be February for all we know. It's still cold outside. Yeah. So you guys get married. How soon after marriage did you guys decide to have Indy, and what were those years like prior to being a mom?
So when we got married, we were like, we're going to wait like 2 to 3 years before we had kids.
Yeah.
We waited 6.
Hey.
And we had so
more
much
power
fun.
to you.
Connor had like bought a house before we got married, and we would party at our house every weekend. We would have drinks. We'd play beer
Living
pong.
the college life, but like married.
Yes. And it was so much fun. Marriage was hard though. I feel like the first 3 years was difficult for us to like communicate in a way that like both of us were happy.
Yeah.
At 3 years we almost got divorced, but we figured our shit out. Like communication is everything, and I feel like love languages they're everything.
Yeah, they're huge. What are yours?
Mine's the worst one. It's quality time.
I thought you were gonna say gifts. I was like, that's the worst.
That's a great one, actually.
No.
I just get somebody a gift. I'm like, you actually have to come and like talk to me, and like what we're doing right now, like that's quality time for me.
Yeah.
Like sitting, talking to me, like asking me about myself.
I'm the same way, and my husband's horrible at it.
Yes, Connor's gotten way better at it.
It takes time, especially if that's not something that they need. They're like, what are you talking about?
Like, don't get it. And it's like, for him, his is like physical touch. And I'm like, okay, so you just want to have sex all the time?
Yeah.
That's convenient.
Right. And it's like, well, why don't you warm me up by like talking to me first?
Exactly.
And then we can have sex.
Yes.
No, for sure.
Well, the thing that sucks too is it's like, just sitting down and watching a show doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
Like, you can't sit next to me and not talk to me and just watch this with me.
No.
Like if it's a show we're conversing about.
Yeah.
Or you're like, oh my gosh, this is happening. And,
yeah.
You know,
like trashy reality TV or like a really good
which
drama.
Which he hates. But
yeah,
he actually watched. Oh, should I say it? I'll say it.
Love is Blind?
No, he watched Love Island with me.
Oh, Love Island.
And
UK or US?
Which one was he watching? I think it was UK that he was watching with me. But I'm a psychopath, and I like was watching both at the same time.
Oh no, that's normal.
And so like he would watch the other one with me sometimes if I was watching it, and like, but the UK I wasn't allowed to watch without him.
He's like, I need to see what happens next.
Yes, he's like, this is our show right now.
What happens with Molly and what's his face?
Tommy?
Yeah.
Okay, that's like season 3.
Okay, but here's the thing. I've never watched it, and I still know those names.
Really?
So I'm proud of myself.
Yeah. Oh my God. Have you seen the first season?
No, I haven't seen anything.
You've never watched
all my
Love?
friends tell me I need to watch Love is Island. Love is Island.
You've never watched Love Island.
But the thing is,
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't understand it. Like, I watched the first episode where they come out and they have like the weird matching of couples. But I'm like, I just don't get it because they're not matching off of chemistry or anything. It's just like this weird, like,
it's matching off of attraction.
yeah. And then they like talk to each other for a second and you can tell that there's nothing there.
If
and
you
especially
like
if
love
the people,
shows, you would like it.
like if the people get stuck with somebody that they obviously like didn't want to be with, like if they're the last two,
yeah.
and it's like, this is awkward because
it is.
where do you go from here?
It is, and it does happen, and it's like it sucks.
I should
but
give
it's,
it.
like,
I should
funny.
give it a try because.
But
everyone's
honestly,
obsessed.
the first, and you hear this with a lot of shows. The first couple are like kind of boring because obviously there's no drama yet. There's no like connection really yet. There's like no like
there's
making
no
out or like horny
development.
scenes
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a slow burner for the first couple, but yeah, they like come out and they match with each other, and then after that, the goal for them is to like be the couple that's the most in love.
Totally.
To be able to,
because we vote for them, right?
Yep, to be able to win the money at the end.
Yeah.
And so
you guys love that show.
We love that show. Yeah, it's a good show.
I'll have to try it out.
I know.
So after
And they
the
have
3
so many
years,
seasons.
after 3 years, that's when he started watching Love is Island, and that's when everything got better.
No, no, but it would have gone better quicker,
right?
No, but like I feel like since the 3-year mark, which is crazy because most people don't say like 3 years, but I feel like it was just like 3 years of putting up with things. Like both of us were like, can you change this? Can you change this? And there's like none of us following through or like no like communication well enough to understand how something was like that important to us. To be able to change anyway, it almost exploded, but I have never been happier. Like I love him so much. Like we communicate so well, and I'm like, does anybody need marriage advice? I can help you.
So what do you think changed it at the 3-year mark when you guys finally were like, okay, it's either we're out or we're in? Was that kind of the feel?
It was more compromise, like for him, I feel like on his side, like where he wasn't doing like little things that added up to me and like made me feel not cared about.
Yeah.
But he literally, we had the conversation of like, maybe this isn't going to work out. And literally the next day, like everything was better. I was like, I'm not doing this like, we fix this for 2 weeks and then it goes back. It goes back. Cause I'm like, I've done that for 3 years. I don't believe it's going to fix itself. Like, maybe it's just not a good fit, you know? Like, and that's okay. Like, but I'm going to go find somebody who's going to do those things for me. And so he literally switched overnight, which is crazy. He's a Virgo. Virgos are overthinkers,
analyze everything.
Exactly. And so when he like knew it was serious, he was like, all right, let's change this up. Let's get it going. Because
it's almost like you gave him an ultimatum, like either it changes or I'm gone.
Yeah. Well, I was actually to the point where I was like, I already know you're not going to change this, so I'm out of here. And he's like, let's try it. Like, please, you know,
please.
And then like since literally that night, even
really
until now, he's been like perfect. And he like he looks back and he's like, I think I just like for some reason I wasn't happy. And he's like, you've helped me so much happier and everything. But he's like such a great person in general. Like he's so smart, so loving, like thinks about everything. He's like all of his friends, even I mean obviously we all come to him for advice. And
was he were you both 20 when you got married?
He was 21.
Okay, so you guys were babies. Like you had to grow together.
We had to grow together and learn both of us, because it's not just one-sided, you know.
For sure.
Not to be so selfish.
Yeah, totally.
And that's something that's hard with any relationship, is just like
you got to work on it.
Yeah.
Well, then you had Indy and you became a mom. How is motherhood? I feel like you thrive on it. Like you seem like you were born to be a mom.
Oh my gosh, that's really nice of you to say.
That's what it seems. I mean, I know social media only shows little glimpses, but
yeah.
you seem to just, well, and I saw you at the party, and the way you just interact with Indy, and like the way you talk to her, how loving you are, the gentle parenting, all those things, like you just are such a good mom.
Well, that's nice of you to say. Like, I know obviously social media makes it look like
perfect.
Yeah. It's not perfect. But I do remembering being like, holy shit, why did nobody tell me how hard this was going to be?
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing? Why did I do this? Like, you know, that type of feeling. Obviously, I would never give her back. But
Never.
it is very hard. Like, the adjustment from being just you and being able to leave whenever you want and only take care of yourself and not have to wake up in the middle of the night and, you know, even feeding somebody else.
Yeah.
Like, all of that
their needs
stuff,
come before yours.
Exactly.
All day long.
It's a very selfless thing that I did not realize how hard it was, because especially too with my mom having 6 kids, like she made it look easy.
Right.
So I'm like, Mom, why?
How many kids do you want?
Trouble. Okay, I think
like 6.
I think I want 27.
Like, I think I'm gonna beat my mom and do 7. So
yeah, exactly. Because I'm competitive.
Yeah, we love competitiveness.
We love a winner. I'm just kidding.
We do.
No, I think that I'll end up with 2, but Connor and I go back and forth on just having 1.
Really?
Yeah.
1 and done.
Yeah.
Pregnancy
I get was so hard for me.
Oh,
like,
girl, you're preaching to the choir
and
right
it
now.
wasn't even that hard. Like, I was sick I didn't even throw up. I was just like nauseous all day.
Yeah.
From 6 weeks until 18 weeks. And then after that, I was like pretty much fine, except for the last part of it. I was like having a hard time sleeping because my hips would hurt when I would like lay on one side too long. And, you know,
yeah.
So like you have a hard time sleeping the last, I don't know, 2 months. I'm getting up to pee. Yeah, which I still get up to pee. Like, that's a thing that's never gone away from me.
Really?
Yes.
Your body's just used to it now.
Yeah,
because how old is Indy? 3?
She's 2.5. Yeah, she'll be 3 in September.
Yeah, her and Brooks are super close in age because Brooks turns 3 in October.
He's a 2020 baby?
Yep.
Yeah.
The COVID baby.
So close.
Yeah.
So close.
We should have a little play date.
We should. Them COVID babies
Bentley
are
would
crazy.
love to boss them around.
Oh, would she?
She'd be like the mother hen.
Indy's a diva.
Oh, then Bentley and her would either get along really well or they'd be like fighting over. Yeah. I think they would get along really well, though.
Sometimes divas get along really well. I mean, we get along.
So it's obviously.
Obviously.
So then you're now like a total TikTok influencer, Instagram creator, all the things. When did you start getting into that?
When did that happen?
Yeah, when did that start?
So it started back when, like almost when Indy was born. Like, I just started sharing things that like I didn't know before being a mom.
On Instagram or TikTok?
Kind of on both, because reels were a thing back then, but they like weren't a thing.
Yeah, and I feel like TikTok back then was more dancing.
Yeah, and I also would like start. It was like 2021 is really when I started. So it was like a year after she was born.
Yeah.
Like December 2021, I started my account and I shared like one of my first videos was like, things you didn't know when you were like in the hospital or something, like, you know, like a tips one, like, you know how those ones would go around like 10 things you didn't know about blah blah blah.
Totally.
It was like one of those. I was like kind of copying it but making it my own. So that's how my TikTok started, and then kind of I would do like Indy's outfits and everything on IG Reels, and I started vlogging my days, or not on Reels, on stories. I was just doing it on stories, and they'll disappear in 24 hours. Like, what a waste.
Yeah.
And my cousin, Rachel K. Jenkins on TikTok and Instagram, she was
shout out.
Shout out, bitch. Sorry, she's Mormon.
Oh.
Beep
fine.
it. I'm just kidding.
Biatch.
Anyway, she like has always been social media savvy. She like had a following on Instagram already, and she like had started doing TikTok stuff, and I was like, well, maybe instead of just my things going away in 24 hours, maybe I should put them on TikTok. So I started doing like outfit videos and hair videos and like some like mom tip videos, but a lot of my content was actually focused around indie. And when I stopped focusing on indie so much, and it was like when the Ren situation happened. Do you remember the Ren situation where it was
the little girl?
The little girl, yeah, and it was like,
but yeah, for those who don't know, it was a little girl, and there are a lot of pedophiles that were commenting and saving her videos of her eating and like her taking baths in a swimsuit and just really weird things, and the mom was getting a lot of hate for it. And that's kind of, I feel like, the turning point of where people really were like, stop posting about your kids on social media. They're not content.
Yeah.
That's kind of when that narrative started getting pushed out for the first time.
Yeah, it like started getting pushed really hard because I had already thought about it before, like, okay, well, what would I do instead? You know what I mean? And so when that kind of stuff started happening, I was like, okay, let me start testing some other content. And like all of her videos prior that are like her like get ready, like get dressed with me videos are like all privated now.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of them. So I had to go back and like change all of the settings on all of those because I still want them. But
for yourself.
For myself. But so it was September, actually just this last year, 2022 is when I was at like 50K on TikTok, is when I started like testing other types of content for myself. And I was doing like the really quick vlogs, ones that are like 30 seconds of just like showing the entire day in the 30 seconds. And I kept getting a lot of comments being like, this is too fast, like you should do a longer one. And it's like right when TikTok had started rolling out, they're like 3 minutes.
Okay.
And so I was like, you know what, I can do both.
Yeah.
So to like keep my views up, I would like do the fast ones, and then I started doing the slower ones. And I figured out a routine to where I like started blowing up on my account. Like I remember the first time I was like sitting at Bunko and I went to check my TikTok, and my follower account, it said like, you know, you get the notification when you go on there. It said like 1,000 or like 1,200 or something. And I was like, what is happening? Because before then I was growing like 10K a month.
Yeah. Which is still a lot.
But I was, anytime I would open my phone from that day forward, it would be like 2,000 people. Like, you know, you like check your phone multiple times. Yeah. It would be like that every time I opened my phone, and I was like, what is going on? Like, what's happening? What's blowing up? What's going on? And so I had a video go viral, and it went to like 15. This was back in, I think, October. It went to like 15 point something million is what it's at now.
Wow.
But at that point, I think it had like gone to like 8 million.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is that I got way more followers from that than like any other type of video. And I think it's because...
What was the video?
It's a vlog.
Okay, yeah.
Those videos are way more personable. Like you can actually kind of get to know the content that you're watching and be like, do I want to follow this person and like keep watching these types of videos? And that did that for me in one video, and so I got a lot of followers from just that one video. And so from that point forward, I just like continued posting those like longer form when like everybody else was doing the like 30-second videos still.
When did it start become lucrative?
I got my first like brand deal offers actually when I was at like 15K.
Yeah. But I'm sure your
like
brand
not like living off of them, but like, you know, I would say probably from that point forward, like my Amazon storefront really did well, and I was able to like put money back into that business and be able to,
because you buy more Amazon shit than anyone I know.
Really?
Every morning it's a new morning routine, and you rip open one of those Amazon bags and there's a new set.
I actually stopped doing that.
Really?
Yes. Because of the like de-influencing, save your money type thing. Somebody had made a video and they didn't specifically say my name, but they were saying like it was like a budgeting TikTok.
Okay.
And they said, like these influencers, like you don't need to be like these influencers ripping open a package every morning and putting on a new workout
like,
set. I got so many tags in that, and I was like, oh shit.
You're like, say this is me without saying it's me.
Right, exactly. I was like, okay, that's rude, because then at that point I like kind of stopped like growing as fast, and I was like, maybe it's because people are like, this girl makes me spend way too much money.
I can't relate to buying a new workout set every day.
Right, but the thing too is like, I'm like, honestly, I wanted to stitch that, because it's like, yes, save your money, but also the things that I'm showing you are kind of helping you save your money, because I'm telling you if this is ass or if it's good.
Right,
so that you don't waste your money.
Yeah, because you review all of it.
I review all of it. After I rip it open and like put it on, check if it's squat proof, touch the material, see if it's good, and then I go work out in it.
Yeah. Which, let's talk about that, because you are a workout girly. Burn Boot Camp, do they sponsor you? Because they need to.
I heard you say that on somewhere.
Yeah,
and I was like,
they need to.
So it started initially, one of my friends, Maddie Dupree, shout out, love you. She had been going to Burn Boot Camp and she loved it. And she was like, come work out with me. And she's like, they work with influencers. So I was like, okay, I'll DM them and like shoot my shot.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was actually only like 7K on Instagram, and it was actually,
you were at 7K on Instagram.
Yeah, and I was at like 20K on TikTok.
What are you at now on Instagram? Like 100?
156.
I'm at 7K right now. How do I get to 156?
It's reels, insane. Baby. It's reels.
I know, but you literally are so consistent. I can't do that.
That's the thing.
And
you have to be.
Like, you post a new reel every day, sometimes twice a day.
Yes. Well, I just post what I already have for TikTok.
Yeah, that's true.
Just put it both places.
Just resurfacing content.
Yes.
Okay, so you reach out to Burn.
Okay,
shoot your shot.
I reach out to Burn, shoot my shot, and they're like, okay, we'll give you 1 month free, and just like do a review video after.
Yeah.
And I, at that point, was like, okay, like, let's do it. I did the review video, and I was like, working with them, and they're like, okay, well, did the review video, went well. They're like, okay, this next month, like, just like film yourself working out. And they just like would give me 1 month at a time.
Gotcha.
But I fell in love with it, and I was like, I'm gonna use this as content. And I love posting my workouts. I love like being a hype girl, like motivation. Like, if me working out makes you want to work out, I love that.
Well, and I love it too, because I told you this when I sent you the list of questions for the podcast.
Yeah.
That I love that you don't shy away from showing what working out actually looks like.
Yeah.
Like the bending over and like, you have skin because you're a human and it'll like fold like a natural human. Yeah. Where other influencers will cut that part out because they only want to show like them at their absolute best. Yeah. Like when they're flexing or when like the lighting's the most perfect. I just don't think
that's fair. Like, I don't think
and I love that.
Like, I get that people have their own insecurities and everything, but it's a lot less work if you don't have to cut that shit out. Yeah. Like, you don't have to retake the video. You don't have to like do different things.
Like, I don't care if I have sweat. Like, I don't care if this angle isn't the most flattering. I don't care.
One of my most asked questions was like, what is your, like, do you have sweat proof sets? And I'm like, that literally doesn't exist. If you don't want your sweat to show, then wear black.
Truly.
Like, if you want to wear color, like, you're going to see crotch sweat. You're going to see crotch sweat. You're going to see boob sweat. And the thing is that everybody there is sweating their ass off. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And I feel like a lot of us care about those types of things because like society has made you care about those things, but it's like, it's a normal thing. Your skin folding is a normal thing. You sweating is a normal thing.
Exactly. Like, cellulite is normal. Having extra skin, like,
and like, you can see my cellulite through my colored sets too. And I'm like, you know what? It is what it is.
But that's the thing, is like, I think 99% of women have the same body, like the same body issues, body types, whatever. Yes. But we compare ourselves to that 1% of influencers that are fitness influencers that like have zero body fat and they're just these tiny, teeny toned women.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times, like, that's not genetically possible for me. Like, I
Yeah.
won't ever look like that probably.
Yeah.
And when I see women who are just like athletic, real women, I'm like, I can relate to that. Like, that's
I've heard that you're a
badass.
beast in the gym. I've heard that. I want to see.
Well, you can see when I'm not pregnant. I'm
Well,
pregnant,
yeah. I'm like, come to Burn Boot Camp.
Oh, I totally
Let's
will.
get you on
when
a cardio day.
when I'm pregnant, this is my least active pregnancy.
I literally didn't work out a day.
I
when
walk
I was
on the treadmill if I'm lucky. That's about
good.
it. That's about it.
Walking's good. I did nothing. That's another question I get a lot. I did literally nothing when Indy was born, and that's another like thing that I've been through. Is the reason why is because I had a miscarriage right before,
So you're scared.
and so I was scared. And you know, if you do a like Google search, it's like don't work out when you're pregnant, and that's just so you guys know that's
not
true. Like you can work out
at the same intensity that you were working out before. But just don't do anything
Yes.
more intense than what you were already doing.
Exactly. But I just even though I knew that it probably wasn't true, like I just was like, I'm not gonna do it. You know, I'm just
I'm not gonna
sit on
risk
this
it.
couch and grow this baby and eat everything.
Which
and
is
I gained like
hard
40
work.
pounds.
Oh,
doing
I'm
that.
at like 50 right now. I'm like, I gain so much weight when I'm pregnant. It's not even funny.
How tall are you?
5'6".
Okay. Yeah.
So-
but I was like about that too though. And I'm 5'7".
I just blow up like a balloon. But like with Brooks, my last pregnancy, I worked out until the day I gave birth. Like hardcore
Wow.
worked out. I gained 75 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
So it doesn't even matter what I do.
Yeah.
It's inevitable. I'm
It's
going to
just a
gain the
thing. You
weight.
just gain
And
it.
so, but it's interesting because this pregnancy, I've lost so much muscle
oh really?
that the scale hasn't gone up as much
Oh,
because I'm
interesting.
losing muscle,
That's so interesting.
which just shows how muscle weighs so much more than
Weighs
fat.
so much more.
Because I'm like, wait, I've only gained this much, but I look like this, but it's because I've lost muscle, which terrifies me to work out again because I'm like, I'm starting from square one. So I'll probably need some burn boot camp.
That's something that I really love about DEXA scans. I had a DEXA scan 5 years ago, and I went and got one in March, and I had gained 10 pounds of muscle. And when I had gotten my first DEXA scan 5 years ago, I was like shreddy. I was so
Really?
shredded. Like I was 155, like 150, 155.
Yeah.
And so when I got that DEXA scan, I was like, oh, so I could weigh 165 because I've gained 10 pounds of muscle. I
Yeah.
could weigh 165 and be shredded. I'm not that far off of that.
No, seriously.
Because I'm like 175 when I fluctuate 180.
Yeah.
But we're doing a summer shred.
Yeah, you were telling me that because I was like, do you want
Yeah.
any Tootsie Rolls or anything? You're like,
I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I'm doing a summer shred.
Summer shred.
The thing too is that it's like the food is the hardest to get under control.
Absolutely.
And I feel like for me too, like I don't think that my body looks bad. And so
No, your body's badass.
I really do want to thank you.
You're hot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I really do want to like shred and like see the muscle that I've built because right now it's like muscle with like a little puffy on top, which I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Like I think my body looks good.
Yeah. But you can still want to shred. It's fine.
But I want to shred, and because I don't think my body looks bad, I've had the hardest time getting my food under control and like having the motivation to just like be consistent with that because that's the hardest. That's the hardest thing.
Totally.
Always.
Abs are made in the kitchen.
And so I always do a caloric deficit instead of like macros, which I've never even learned how to count macros, but I always do a caloric deficit because then I can just like eat whatever. Like if I want to eat this cupcake instead of like have my 300 calories for something that will make me feel more full, then I'm just going to be a little bit hungry.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like macros might be a better thing.
Probably because then you're actually getting
you'll probably get your protein in, and that's like what
Yes.
will build your muscle.
Yes.
But I didn't do macros forever. I did the same thing as that you were
Really?
doing. I was like, I'll just be in a calorie deficit. Like I'll have a cheeseburger, but that's all I'll eat today. Because like that's all my calories
Like,
for
that's
the
all my
day.
calories.
But with macros, once you figure it out and like learn it, it actually is super nice because I was able to, I feel like, eat a lot more food
Yeah.
than when I was in a calorie deficit.
Yeah, you
But
definitely
you
can.
have to like learn it, and then
But also you can like you can fit things like cupcakes and stuff into macros. Like
exactly.
I've been following what is she, Macro Habits, Hannah Pinter.
Hannah, love her.
I actually reached out to her, but I never booked the appointment. She like emailed me and I never booked it, but
Her
I
body
need to learn.
is She looks like a real life Barbie.
She looks so good.
I don't understand. I'm like,
she looks so good. And her best friend is like Brooklyn Fulmer.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you guys are so hot.
I want to be like you.
You're so hot. But like Hannah is so disciplined with her macros. Like that's
So
why she looks the
disciplined.
way she looks.
Yes.
Like that's her lifestyle.
She'll like schedule things out. Like if she wants to eat dessert at a friend's birthday party or whatever, she like schedules it out so that she like already has it in her things. Just so you can.
No,
see
she
what
did my
needs to
macros
eat.
for me when I first started getting into macros. I love Hannah.
Okay,
I met her at Orange Theory for years and years and years ago.
Did she used to live here?
Yeah.
Okay.
She did back in the day.
Okay.
Okay. One last question for you before we take out trash. What goals do you have for this year? Financially, fitness wise, personal, marriage, all the things.
Okay. Financially, I want to make more money than I ever have.
Love it.
We love money. I was in sales before I got married, and
we love a good salesman.
We love a good saleswoman.
I feel like you and me would be good summer sales bros.
Oh, we could
summer sales hoes.
We could be summer sales hoes without the sex.
Totally.
Bring our husbands.
Yeah.
We can do it.
We'd probably make more than them.
Oh, honestly, I worked in NIS inside sales for Vivint. And I had like 30% conversion rate, I think, which is like 1 out of 3 calls I would sell.
That's amazing.
But I'm also like aggressive.
You're like, no,
I'm just
means
a little
yes.
aggressive.
No means let's keep trying.
I just like, I love it because I'm a problem solver. And so I'm like, oh, you can't do it because of this? Well,
let's figure it out.
What if this and this and this and this? And they're like, I'm like, that sounds like a yes. Let's go.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was the question that you asked me?
The goals. So financially, you want to make more than you've ever made.
Make more money.
Love it.
Yes. Marriage wise, just keep going in the direction we are. Like, we're so happy. So marriage wise, maybe go on more vacations and make more drunk videos.
Yes, Mexico. That was so fun for you.
It was so fun. I kind of liked it because I feel like my TikTok doesn't show
that side like, of you.
That side, that like crazy side.
Yeah,
because
you can't really be that way in your everyday life.
Yeah, but sometimes we do that like on the weekends and stuff. But
yeah, that's fun.
Most people don't want to be filmed, so I'm like, we'll just not.
Yeah.
Other goals. I don't know. I don't really make goals. I probably should, but hey. I'm really into manifestation. So when I want to do something, it's just like go for it. So just like growing more on TikTok and Instagram so that I can meet the financial goal.
Yeah.
And like I guess other goals is like making new like genuine friendships and nurturing the relationships that I already have. Because like when you're gone, that's all you have is relationships. And so I want to get better at that because I feel like I'll spend all my time like working all day. I wake up and I go to sleep like on my phone working, but like I do have some time that I spend with friends and stuff, but I want to make that more of a priority and like making sure that I'm checking in on my friends and like be a better friend. So that's a really good goal that I have for this year and future.
I love that. I love it. Well, thanks for letting me deep dive into you.
You're welcome. Hopefully it was good.
It was great. Are you ready to take out trash?
Yes.
Today's trash is sponsored by Better Days Co. Better Days was created by Lisa Allen, a mom of 4 who has been sharing her beauty and health tips for years on social media. I have been following her forever, and she's a true inspiration and absolutely stunning. Better Days offers caffeinated and uncaffeinated greens, as well as collagen supplements, drinks to help with sleep and hormones, and drinks that help you get glowing skin. If you've been wanting to try Better Days, or maybe you are already obsessed with them, as am I, and use it daily, use code WEEKLYTRASH on your next order to save 10% off. And know that you are supporting Weekly Trash. Thank you. Okay, what was your personal trash this week?
Okay, I put it on my phone because
put it on your phone.
Mom brain. Yeah, I don't know, like mom brain. Pregnancy brain translates to mom brain translates to are we ever going to get better?
Well, and you have to like remember a whole week. That's a lot.
I know. I was like, maybe I should go look through all of my vlogs and see like what did I even do last week?
Yeah, I always have to look back on my pictures. Like, what did I do?
Right.
Totally.
So things that I can remember. I did athletic conditioning at Burn Boot Camp on Saturday. Okay, well, the week before that, I had spent the day with my sister Sunday, Monday, and I think Wednesday. I took her to go get an IV because when you're sick, like, it just sucks.
Yeah.
And she was having her baby shower on Saturday. And anyway, I wanted her to be better.
Right.
So I think it was actually Friday that I did athletic conditioning, and I was like breathing so hard. And the next day I woke up with like the worst sore throat, sneezing, everything. So I was sick.
That's the worst.
But miraculously, I swear by IVs.
See, I got an IV one time and I hated it so much.
You have to get the right one. Like
it like made me cold. I was like shivering. I did not like it.
Really? Like if the bag is too cold, it's definitely annoying. But to get an IV, I usually get an IV the first day that I wake up with a sore throat, and I'm better within 2 days.
Really?
Like that versus being sick for 2 or 3 weeks, like 100% worth it. So
maybe I should try it again.
Yeah, well, and you have to get the right ones. I go to my friend Ashley. Shout out Ashley. I think she's like Injections by Ashley or something. She does Botox and stuff too. But I go to her for my shoot up my arm.
Shoot up IV. Yeah.
Shoot up my IV. Yeah, and she does like double vitamin C, vitamin D. I think it's like glutathione, like a bunch of like B vitamins and just a bunch of stuff. And I don't know how, but it literally makes me better and like
just cures you.
Yes, it's crazy because IVs versus taking it like orally. Well, yeah, you're getting it straight in your straight in your bloodstream. So you absorb it way better, rather than
nice.
Yeah. Anyway, so I got an IV. Let me tell you the next thing.
Okay, let's hear it.
Started a caloric deficit, which sucks.
So you started that just like barely?
Yeah, I started that this week. What's today?
Today's Thursday.
Thursday? Yeah, I started Monday.
Okay, so it's fresh. It's fresh.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I can't eat the candy and take my shots. I was telling her I'm going to take 2 shots of tequila before I come here because I'm nervy.
I was like, do it.
But
like, I think I'd rather drink later today.
Yeah. No, it's like this weekend.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're going to have people over at our house Saturday, and I'm like,
turn up.
I'll try not to turn up, but I feel like drinking is fun. So
do they have 0-calorie alcohol? Is that a thing?
That would be nice. No, like tequila has like 85 calories maybe.
How
I still count them.
How has nobody come up with 0-calorie alcohol?
Right.
Are we sure? Are we sure that doesn't exist?
You can ask my chat GPT because I always ask him everything.
Let me see. 0-calorie liquor. Oh, what liquor has no calories?
It says, please check your internet. I have no internet here.
Oh, yeah. I can share my Wi-Fi password.
No, it's good. You can look it up. We don't.
The lowest calorie alcohol is vodka.
How many calories?
And it still has 100.
Oh, it has 100?
Yeah.
Wait, that's crazy. Because I thought that it was less than that.
How? It's 2023. I feel like that should exist.
I know, but
it's already so bad for you. So just put bad stuff in it. It's fine.
I'm pretty sure alcohol turns to sugar in your body, and so it just counts as sugar.
See, and I'm like, I'd rather eat a donut.
Same.
I don't really care to drink.
I think drinking's so fun.
You just love it.
Maybe. I'm an alcoholic now.
Like,
they're like, yeah, runs in the family.
Like it's
like, but why would you drink that nasty shit if it's not to like feel something?
Right? It doesn't taste great.
It doesn't taste great at all. Yeah. No.
So you're gonna turn up, maybe not. Anything else?
Let's see. Oh, we got sheetrock for our basement. We're finishing.
Are you finishing your basement?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Oh, and Connor told me, and we just got the sheetrock today. Connor told me that they broke the window downstairs, putting the sheetrock through the window.
No, but they'll pay for it, right?
They paid for it, and I think I haven't talked to Connor, but they're like, they have the window in stock. So I'm like, so are they gonna pick it up now? Yeah. Because I'm not trying to sleep without a window in my house.
That's kind of scary.
Like, don't put this up until I got a window.
She got the window. She got the window.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that there was a like big box in front of where I parked my car, and I'm like, maybe that's the window.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure even if they don't have the window, they won't just leave an open window.
It's fine, guys. We have a window.
It's fine. It's fine. All right, do you have any more?
Okay, let me see. One. Let's see. Okay, I have a couple more.
Okay, let's hear it.
You want to hear all of them?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I don't want to be annoying. Okay, I bought a credenza, like a TV stand type thing.
Okay, yeah.
And it's too big for the spot that I wanted it to go in.
That's the worst.
It was like an as-is piece, so I can't return it.
I'm sure you'll be able to sell it easy though with your 100,000+ Instagram followers.
I'm like, come pick it up. They're like, I know where Rylee
Yeah.
lives. That's so scary.
Well, speaking of that, what I'll share just one of my personal trash things is I got rid of my goldfish, my betta
I
fish.
heard that. Yeah.
I was like, I cannot keep this stupid ass fish. I can't keep feeding it. I can't keep cleaning the bowl. Bentley had completely forgotten about it.
I thought about getting it from you.
So I posted. I was like,
I know, I saw.
Will somebody please take this? And this sweet mom, she just lives like 10 minutes from me. And she was like, my son would love it. I can come pick it up anytime. I'm like, it is yours. Come pick it up. So she comes and picks it up. He was so excited.
Yeah.
He loved it. Then later that day, I don't tell my husband anything because like my husband and me like don't talk throughout the day. Like he's busy, I'm busy.
Yeah, same,
so
yeah.
when he gets home is like when we catch up. But I was folding laundry and Bentley and Brooks were just playing, and Caleb saw on my Instagram story that I had sold the fish.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, you sold the fish." And I look at him because I hadn't told Bentley.
Ooh.
And she hadn't noticed. Like she literally
She didn't care about it
She
until
did not
now.
care until Caleb said that. And she goes, "You sold my fish?" And I look at Caleb and he's like, "Oh, that's my mistake." And I'm like, "Oh." Lost it. Like she lost it. She was like, "Oh, my Moonicorn dragon." Like so upset. And I just looked at Caleb like, what are we gonna do here?
You're like,
and
you don't even care about Unicorn.
No,
you don't even feed
so
him.
I
You don't even take care of him.
I showed her the video of the little boy and I'm like, see how happy he is? Like we're gonna share with him. And then I bet we can have a play date and we can go visit him.
Yeah.
And she's like, "No, I want him back. I want him back now."
No.
And so I'm like, how do I change this conversation to make her not literally lose her mind? So I look at Caleb and I'm like, "This is on you." And I'm like, "I think Daddy said he was going to buy you a pony." And she was like, "A pony?" And like completely stopped being sad.
Yeah.
And so Caleb's like, "Oh gosh." So he pulls up on KSL like ponies, just like let her look. But now she's convinced that she's getting a pony. And so it was really
Where
bad.
are you going to put this pony?
Yeah, it was really bad on my part. So then after about an hour of her thinking she was getting a pony, we switched it to a kitten. We were like, "Well, what about a kitten?" And she's like, "Oh,
wait,
a
you're
kitten?"
allergic to cats.
And I'm allergic to cats.
Yeah.
So now, since that conversation yesterday, she has not stopped asking about her kitten named Mittens.
Get a sphinx.
What is that?
A sphinx?
What is it?
It's a cat without hair.
Ew, those are the ugliest fucking things I've ever seen in my whole life.
Okay, I had a sphinx and
No, everyone who
it
has
acts
one,
like a dog.
Everyone who has one,
It acts like a dog.
how do you think it's cute? How do you think it's cute? It is
The cutest,
so,
ugliest little thing
It
ever.
looks like a naked rat.
Oh yeah, but
It is
still,
freaky looking.
if you had one, you would think differently.
No, I don't think I would.
Just go
I
try to
don't
like
think so.
them, and you would start liking them.
I don't think Bentley would like it. I think Bentley would be
She's like,
terrified.
"What
She's
is
like,
this
what is
thing?"
this terrifying looking creature in my house?
They're ugly. I can agree,
But
but they're like ugly
she's-
cute.
She's been asking about a kitten, and I don't know what we're gonna do about that. But it all started because I sold her fish through Instagram. Sold it sold it as in I gave it away because who buys beta fishes?
So are
from
you
people?
the only one that's allergic to?
Yeah. Caleb, fun fact, actually had a cat before we got married.
Oh, you had him get rid of it?
No, he just found it on the street and decided to take it home to his apartment, which if you know my husband, that's so weird because he's not an animal person.
Yeah.
He named it Meowie Cyrus.
I love it.
And he had it for like 4 days and he was
Yeah.
like, "This ain't it." And then he took it to a farm. So
Okay, yeah.
neither one of us are big cat people.
Yeah.
I would love a cat if I wasn't allergic, but
But you're allergic to your dogs too,
Yeah,
and you
I-
keep them.
well, I'm like immune to them.
Oh, really? Oh, actually, that kind of happened to me. I had a friend that I would hang out all the time, and her brother had a German Shepherd, and I was like deathly allergic initially. Yeah, and then I
You're
like
surrounded
kept
so
hanging out with her.
much.
And, yeah, your body like adjusts
Isn't
to
that
it,
weird?
so maybe that's what happened.
Because I'm allergic to literally everyone else's dogs. I go to my
Yeah.
parents' house. I go to my in-laws' house. I'm allergic to both their
your
dogs.
body's just like put up a defense. For
But with
yours.
Trigger and Snoop, doesn't even phase me.
Yeah,
It's weird.
that is weird.
But I don't want to like test it out with a cat.
Yeah,
Like,
like let's not test it
especially
out.
when I'm about to have a baby. I'm like,
I said the same thing to Connor. I was like, maybe let's just get a cat because they just like mind their business. And he's like, I'm allergic. I'm like, you are? Because we had a Sphinx before, and then after that we had a Shih Tzu. I've decided that I'm just not like
An animal person.
taking care of. It's like
a
another
whole-
kid.
It is.
And I'm already like, I only want one, maybe one
I
kid.
technically
so.
have 4 children.
Yeah,
So,
technically.
if you count Caleb, I have 5.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have 6, and then you're gonna be
good.
my mom.
And that's why the goldfish had to go.
Yeah.
The beta fish,
No, for
unicorn
sure.
dragon had to go. His new name is Bob, so we're happy for Bob. He has a
Love
new
that.
loving home, and Bentley's completely forgot about him and just wants a kitten now. So,
Love that.
any other trash?
Well, I put my thing away. I feel like I have too much. I was just like trying to make stuff so like just
Stuff
in case I
happen.
needed to like
I need a little
fill
extra.
Yeah.
One of mine is I just watched the show Our Father on Netflix. Have you seen the documentary about this?
No, it's a documentary.
So it's a documentary. It was like super popular a while ago, but I didn't hop on the train until just the other night.
Okay.
This doctor named Dr. Klein was an infertility doctor back in the 70s and 80s. And he would inseminate his patients with his own semen without their consent.
Instead of
a donor or the husband's. Yeah. And so there's like 90. He has 90 plus children out there that all live in this close, like a proximity of each other, which is super scary because they could accidentally procreate without knowing and like have cousin babies. And so it's this crazy documentary, and these people, it all started because of 23andMe, like the DNA test.
Oh yeah, that's how they found out.
So that's how they found out. This one girl went, got her DNA test, saw that she had tons of like close relatives, and she's like, that's weird. And she knew that her parents went to an infertility doctor, but she always thought it was a sperm donor. And so that's why she wanted to like take the test to find her sperm donor.
Yeah.
And then she started to realize, oh my gosh, I think my sperm donor was the doctor.
Oh my gosh.
And she goes down this like whole investigation trying to like get him to like go to jail for it. Yeah. This is what's so crazy. They couldn't pin anything on him because it's not illegal.
Oh.
Is that not crazy?
It should be now.
Because it's literally, they were saying it like he basically raped these women without raping them because they didn't know that it was his semen. And also he had to go masturbate right before.
Ew, I forgot that part. Yeah, that's disgusting.
And like the crazy thing is a lot of these women would go with their husbands and their husband would masturbate, put his semen in a cup, hand the cup to the doctor, and the doctor would take it to a room, and then he would go masturbate, switch out the semen, and put his own semen in there. Like so wild, people so messed up, so gross. And this one of the women who was pregnant by him said, I got raped 6 times and I didn't even know it because she kept going for infertility treatments.
Oh my gosh.
And every time
he would do that.
And even if like he doesn't have a boner when he's putting it in, like he just masturbated. Like he still has those endorphins running through his body as you are spread eagle, and he is looking at your vagina, putting his own semen inside of you.
Yeah.
And so he didn't go to jail.
Oh my.
He paid a $500 fine because I guess he lied in the court about something, but like they had nothing to pin him on because they couldn't. And because of 23andMe, there have been found that there are multiple infertility doctors that do this.
Oh my god.
They insert their patients with their own semen. So you guys need to watch this documentary. It was wild. It was crazy. I will say the one thing that's crazy. And I guess I can't speak for them because I've never had this experience, but a lot of them were like, I just can't believe he's my biological father. And I'm like, but that doesn't mean anything. Like your dad is still your dad.
Yeah.
Like just
that's
like
not who raised
like,
you. Yeah.
These people found out at age 30, 35 and they're like crying because their dad's not their dad. And I'm sure that's a total like identity crisis, crazy moment.
For sure. Yeah.
But that doesn't take away from the fact that your dad is still 1,000% your
dad
father.
raised you.
Like don't discredit that. And I felt like a lot of them discredited it, and it was actually really annoying to watch.
That's actually really sad though.
Like, yeah. I was like, who cares? Like, who cares that he's your blood father? Like, he's not your dad. He didn't raise you. He didn't teach you things. He didn't give you he didn't build your character.
He's your biological father. He's not like your dad.
Yeah. But there was one that was super crazy because the mom got pregnant by him. Yeah. This whole time thought it was her husband's baby because they didn't know that he put his semen in.
Yeah.
And then his daughter, or their daughter, once she was born, when she turned like 30, she went to that same doctor for infertility treatments. No. So she doesn't know that her biological father is the one that's like doing her breast exams and her pap smears, but he knew.
Nasty. No.
Yeah. It's crazy. You should watch it.
So messed up. It's called Our Father.
Our Father on Netflix.
Gosh.
And then the other thing this is so random, but I realized today that I don't have a laugh.
What?
I don't laugh. I just don't breathe.
What?
I just go like I don't have like a laugh because I was listening to a podcast and these girls like they were giggling and I'm like that's so cute. Like
was it the Jay-Z?
No, it was the Toast. And,
okay, yeah.
And they were just like laughing and I was like I don't laugh when I listen back to my podcast episodes. I'm not like
I'm gonna have to listen.
I'm literally like
but you're like really laughing. You're not like fake laughing.
But yeah, I don't have a laugh. Like I just don't have a laugh.
This is really sad. We're gonna have to find it.
I don't know, like,
but it is a laugh.
It's
like,
a laugh, but it's
a laugh.
It's
like
me wheezing and not breathing.
That's fine though. Like,
but it's horrible for podcasting because I feel like if you have a laugh, yeah, I feel like if you have a laugh, it makes the people listening laugh.
Yeah.
But instead, they just hear me like. Like if you're watching on YouTube, you can tell I'm laughing, but I don't know.
I like it a lot.
Like literally, like I literally don't have a laugh.
But you can tell like you have a big smile and you're like, by
but
what
like
you're
when you're
saying,
listening,
like it's funny. Like I feel like I'm gonna have to listen back, but I'm sure that when I'm listening,
I mean, nobody
like,
has mentioned it. Nobody's commented that I don't have a laugh, but it just like hit me. I was driving the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, these girls are so funny. And I was laughing at their jokes.
Yes.
With no laugh. Just like
oh my gosh. Wait, you're like laughing at it and you're like realizing, oh shit.
Like
and then you're like, let me go. You like go scroll and like
I need to find my own laugh. Yeah. So that's
sure
just a random thing that I
feel like maybe it's just in like certain scenarios though. Like I'm sure you laugh.
I really
like,
don't think I laugh. I just like can't breathe. I don't know. Like this is me laughing.
we're like really trying to like laugh now.
I can't.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, pop culture trash.
I looked through all of your
Coachella.
stuff, and some of the people I'm like, yeah, I have no idea who these people are. So
that's
just
okay.
go for
That's
it, girl.
Okay. Have you ever been to Coachella?
No.
Have you? Were you invited?
No.
What? Well, you will be next year for sure.
You will be next
You
year.
will be.
I feel like too, like because my account grew so fast. Like I feel like a lot of people don't know me still.
Yeah. Well, nobody knows who I am, so I will never get invited.
They do know who you are,
but
Josie. They do.
I truly don't think I would even want to go to Coachella if I got invited.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was looking at the list of performers, literally knew none of them.
Really? Well, yeah, based off of the article you sent me, I went looking through them and I'm like,
yeah,
I listened to one of their songs. I'm like, this is good, but I've never heard it.
Yeah, it's all like indie, like music that like low discovery, nobody really knows who they are yet type of people. And then you had like the big ones like Frank Ocean, Billie Eilish, but those are like towards the end. And I just like
I'll go on the last day.
I just don't know if Coachella is my vibe. Also, the being really hot and really sweaty, not my vibe.
I really like to be hot.
Do you?
Yeah. Like I don't enjoy it, but I like to like. I am like lay out in the sun. I'll be there all day, like tanning type girly.
No.
I don't know with clothes.
I don't like being cold either, though. I just want to be comfortable at all times.
You like to live in Cali.
I want to just be in 69-degree weather at all times.
Okay, yeah. I was like 69. I'm like thinking of like the house weather.
Oh yeah,
or the house weather, the house temperature.
Do
you guys just
what do you keep your house at?
We kept our house at like 70, 69, like between 69 and like 71.
That's how we are too. Yeah. 71's too hot for me.
Is it?
I need
probably
like
for Connor
69.
too, but sometimes he has to deal.
But some Coachella couples, we had Kendall Jenner and Bad Bunny. They're like official.
That was a surprise to me when I saw
Yeah,
that.
it's kind of random. Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello.
Love that.
They're back together.
Love that.
Because they were seen kissing and everyone's like, no, they're not back together. And then TMZ reported today that they were out walking about after Coachella.
Yeah.
And they were hand in hand strolling down the street in Santa Monica. And it's looking like they are back together. So, which I just think, I don't love them as a couple. I think they're really weird.
Really? I don't pay attention too much about that, so
I'm not a diehard, so I don't really care. Then we have Leonardo DiCaprio was making smoochy eyes with Bradley Cooper's ex baby mama during Coachella, which why is Leonardo DiCaprio at Coachella? He's like 40 years old.
I know.
So weird.
He's hot though.
Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber were there.
Yes, I saw people's videos of like influencers that had artist pass.
Yeah, artist pass.
Anyway, like filming and like it was Justin Bieber like just dancing in front of them.
I'm
like, I would die.
I would actually die.
He's like He's like our age.
Yeah, he's 28.
But you're a little younger.
He's 29. Yeah, I think he's 29.
He's my age. Yeah.
Yeah. Then there was some news I didn't know about. If you go over your performance, you get fined for like breaking curfew.
Oh, no way.
So it said Coachella is cutting a check because Frank Ocean wasn't the only one performing late into the night, because Frank Ocean made everybody wait like an hour before he went on.
Yeah.
And he ended up going past the time. And so a rep of the city said that the fines for curfew violations over the first weekend totaled to $117,000. And I guess the artists are the one who have to pay. And Macklemore went on stage and he did like a little speech. I found it on TikTok. I'll have to repost it.
Yeah.
But he said, "Oh, I heard there's a fine for every minute. It's $10,000 for every minute that you go over." And he was like, "Fuck that." And he did a performance anyways. And he was like, "Write the check. Like, I don't care." And it was like pretty badass. So
wait, I love that.
Macklemore.
I love that. I love him too.
And then, yeah, Frank Ocean actually ended up dropping out. He's not going to be the headliner for next week anymore, which he says it's because of his ankle. But
I've seen a lot of hate about his performance.
A lot.
Like, I didn't watch it or anything.
I'm
not really know.
Yeah, I'm not really a Frank Ocean fan.
Yeah.
But he's saying that the reason why he's not coming back is because he had 2 fractures and a sprain on his left leg. But I think it's because he's getting all this hate, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too.
But Blink 182 will be filling in for him.
Oh, we love them.
Which I don't know them.
You don't know them?
Blink 182 is not my style. That punk.
It's not my style either, but I like it was when I was like 12, 13, 14. They were like a thing.
I can't think of one of their songs.
Yeah, well.
Do you? No. Can you think of one of their songs on top of your head?
Oh gosh.
Should I Google one?
Put me on the
Blink
spot.
182.
Yeah, Google one. You probably would know it if you heard it. They're really popular.
Don't they have a song from Shrek?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, I don't know. And okay, wait, Blink 182. Wait, that's the band that Travis Barker was in?
Guess so.
Okay,
Newsflash.
I know nothing.
This just in.
I know nothing. Yeah, I don't know any of these songs. Sorry for all my Blink 182 fans. But that's the thing. Like, if I was in Coachella and they were like, Blink 182 is the headliner, I'd be like, okay, no thanks. Like, okay. I'm good. Like, where's Harry
Justin
Styles?
Bieber come back?
Yeah. Like, where's like the people I actually care about?
Yeah.
So I don't think I'd even want to go to Coachella.
That would be big if they got Justin, especially with him like canceling his tour.
Well, he was a headliner
a while ago.
2 years ago, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Love it.
I would love to go to that.
Okay.
Another couple that was there that's also kind of a story is Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet.
Okay, I don't know who that guy is, but I looked through the article and he's not that hot.
No, he's like this. He looks like he's 15, first of all.
Yes, he does.
Looks like he's 15. He's older than her.
No way.
He's 27.
He's got a skincare game.
Well, also, he just looks like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, he
does. And Kylie Jenner looks like she's 35.
Yeah.
I do not approve of this relationship. I think it's so weird.
Yeah, me either.
I'm like this. Anytime I see
when you see like a couple that like isn't pretty together, it's like, let's not do that.
Well, I do this thing where when I see any Hollywood couple, I just picture them having sex.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I cannot for the life of me picture Kylie Jenner and Timothy Chalamet having sex.
That's a good way to look at it.
Like,
yeah, no.
I picture her riding on top of him and like her big old ass and his tiny little shriveled body. Like, I cannot.
Yeah, no, same.
It just doesn't fit. It does not fit for me. But people are saying this is a publicity couple that Kris Jenner's pulling out of her ass to try to get her.
Travis?
Or she was with oh my gosh, how am I forgetting
his name? Not
name?
Travis.
No, his name is not. Yeah, Travis Scott. Yeah,
it's Travis Scott.
Travis Scott. Yeah, she's with Travis Scott.
She's not with him anymore.
No,
obviously.
and they have the 2 babies together.
But when did they break up?
I think it was a couple months ago that they allegedly broke up, but now it's like very official.
Okay, that's weird.
But I think that Kris Jenner's working overtime trying to get them back in like the good graces of everybody. And
yeah, we don't like him.
Timothy Chalamet, even though you didn't know who he is, he's like pretty poppin'.
Really?
Like,
what is he in?
He's in random movies.
Oh, he's in movies.
He's an actor.
Okay.
I haven't watched any of his movies, but
I mean, maybe I've seen his movies because like when you see a picture of them on the red carpet versus seeing them in a movie, like it's kind of different. Like
he just has like this weird vibe to him. Like he kind of dresses like Harry Styles, like a little feminine,
Yeah.
a little out there.
Yeah.
And he gives off like that skinny hippie boy energy.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like Kylie's normal type.
No.
She goes for like the rappers.
She goes for guys with big dicks. And I
Yeah.
just don't see that for Timothy.
Or even just big dick energy.
Yeah.
Like,
And Timothy is a 5-year-old little boy.
yeah, he
Like-
does look like that.
Like he's like the boy that like has a crush on like someone's hot mom and is like
Yes.
just creepily staring.
Yeah.
And Kylie's the hot mom.
He's the peeping Tom.
Totally. So I'm not there for that.
Yeah, same.
Speaking of the Kardashians, Katy Perry brings out Northwest on stage
Okay, yeah.
at her what's it called? Residency in Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
Did you watch the video of her on stage?
I did. She was so cute.
It was so cute. She's like, "Can my friends come on stage?"
Yes, it
And
was
they
so
all
cute.
danced.
I loved it.
And I just would love to be Northwest for a day.
I know, right?
Can you
Can you ima-
imagine?
Like, I feel like she doesn't. How are you going to grow up and like have?
No, she's not.
normal.
No.
Normalcy.
She's
Like, you just
9,
won't.
9 or 11. Let me look it up.
I think she's 9
I think she is 9. How old is Northwest?
because she asked her age, and I think she said.
Did
9.
she say 9?
Yeah.
How old is? I'm pretty sure it is 9.
She seems really mature though for her age, actually.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, she's 9. If she's 9, she mentally she has to be like 14
Yeah, she seems really mature.
because she's probably
I
seen
feel like
so
usually the
much.
oldest is a little bit.
Yeah.
Seems more mature.
But I've decided I actually don't want to be Northwest. I'd want to be Northwest's friend because you get all the benefits.
I'd actually want to be Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. Well,
I'd actually want to
that
be
too.
Northwest's mom.
But no, like her friends just get to live the
Sorry.
best life, just hanging out with her. Like, oh, mom, I'm gonna go hang out with Northwest. Oh, what'd you do today? Oh, we went on Katy Perry's stage and
Yeah,
sang with
that's
her.
I always thought of that when I was watching like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, like when Kylie and Kendall were younger, like because they were
Yes.
kind of my age when I was like
Yeah,
when it came
yeah,
out.
Yeah.
And I'm like I want to be their friend, like because they would always take their friends on like cool stuff or like on trips
Totally.
with them or whatever.
No, it would be a blast. And then Aaron Carter's autopsy came out that
Yes, I looked at
his cause of
that.
death was Xanax and huffing lead, which made him drown. But then
But then it's like, did he drown?
But that's what his ex-girlfriend is saying or ex-fiance was like, if he drowned in the bathtub, if he decided to take a bath, why were his clothes on?
Well, also because they were saying that it was an overdose, right?
Right.
And then now they're saying, no, it wasn't an overdose. He drowned.
So it's like, which is it? So his ex-fiance said, the results of the autopsy are not closure for me. It claims death is by drowning, but also adds he was wearing a t-shirt and necklace in the bathtub, which doesn't make sense. Why would he be in the bathtub with clothes on? I'm
Because he's
still in
high?
shock and still miss Aaron every day. I don't understand the chain of events, and this report only has me asking more questions. So I wonder if they'll do it like an open investigation because this claims the death as an accident.
Yeah, I feel like too, like if you're high, sometimes you do weird shit.
Totally.
Like that could totally be an accident where he just is like, oh, whatever. Maybe he's like hallucinating or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I'm just going to get in the bath. I'm like kind of cold. And you just like get in, you
Kinda
know, like when
cold.
you're so like drunk or high
Out
or
of it.
whatever, like you're so out of it that you're just like,
You do something so stupid.
you wouldn't normally, like one time I slept in the bathtub which is so dangerous. I slept in the bathtub when I was like so drunk.
Oh, okay. Well,
But I was
maybe.
naked. So there's that.
So you didn't have your clothes on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So-
hopefully someone can get closure with.
Yeah,
those
that's
answers.
really sad. It's really hard with a death that way too. I feel
You
like
have no
because
answers.
you don't get
No
closure and you're
answers,
like
you don't say
always
goodbye.
wondering. You like
Yeah.
make up your own scenarios and
And it's obviously the worst scenario too. Like you go to the
Yeah.
worst place.
so sad.
Did you watch Love Is Blind?
I watched it just for you, babe.
Yes.
I literally
Did you finish it?
I heard that I don't know who the last person was, but
It was
Susan.
Yeah, Susan
doesn't-
Peterson. Yeah.
Susan doesn't watch. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna binge this whole thing. I started
Okay,
watching
what'd you
on
think?
the weekend. Okay.
Had you watched the seasons prior?
I've watched one before
Okay.
and it wasn't enough to make me be like, okay, I'm gonna watch this every season.
That's fair.
But I feel like this season made me be like, you know what? This is kind of fun. I kind of like it.
This season was kind of all over the place and crazy.
It was crazy. Like with all the love triangles, I was like, okay, first of all, I think that what's his name? Kwame. I think that he likes Micah and would have gotten engaged to Micah if she didn't dump him.
Right?
Although he's saying that he has a breakup letter that was for her.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm confused because he was so like, I was going to break up with her that day. But I'm like,
I wanted to propose early.
I literally watched that episode. You were bawling your eyes out, saying you were going to go home. I'm so confused. So
yeah, it just sounds like to save face with his new wife.
Yes.
Which is really sad. But not to take away from his and Chelsea's relationship, because I feel like they do have a really good relationship, and like he did tell Micah that he really liked Chelsea, and she was giving him more confirmation and everything, and he was starting to lean that way. So there's that too. But then even after that, I think it was after that conversation that he was saying, no, you know what, Micah, like I think I want to propose early. Like I feel like
you're the one.
Yeah, I feel like he had that conversation after he said that about her.
No, so I watched the reunion, but before the reunion, obviously the weddings. And Kwame and Chelsea were the first ones, and when he said yes, I was shook.
Yeah, same.
Because everything that the producers were giving us and like editing him and
was basically
Chelsea's
showing
relationship,
that his mom had to give approval, basically.
And also that like they didn't have that chemistry. Like I just didn't really see it. Chelsea was really into it.
I feel like you saw it when they were doing the photo shoot though.
Okay, the photo shoot was really weird to me.
Was it?
I was like, what is happening? I felt like Kwame was
I'm like, you saw it.
Kwame was kind of like, I guess. And Chelsea was like,
it was more into it. It was more like the end is when you were like, you saw them more connecting that way.
But Kwame says yes. And I was like, this is so weird. Okay. Yeah. Then we have Paul and Micah. And I didn't think they would get married, but I didn't realize how Micah was so like invested into Paul. I was like, oh, okay. But when Paul said that he couldn't see her as a mother,
that's so rude.
That was so rude.
I've actually kind of had people say that about me before though.
Really?
It's because I have more of a hard personality. Like, I'm more like blunt and like, I don't know, say it how it is, like straightforward. Like you see me more of like a hard personality versus like
as a nurturing,
sweet and nurturing, which is going to be hard to see me as that other way now because I am a mom and you see me that way. But I feel like people can have both sides, but I never saw that for her. Like I never saw that about her.
I thought it was really interesting, and people have been defending him, saying, because in the reunion, Vanessa Lachey, the host, which that was a whole other thing, she
was spicy.
She like kind of went at him for it, and I think it's because as a woman and as a mom, you hear how offensive that is, and even if he felt that way and he didn't want to tell her, if you're gonna say it on screen to the producer, you know she's going to see it at some point. So you might as well tell her before she watches it live on a television show and is blindsided.
Yeah.
I thought that was so rude.
Well, especially with him or with her like opening up to him and being like, I want kids. Like,
yeah, my mom couldn't have kids. Like, I'm a miracle.
Yeah, exactly. And like being like, this is something that I'm really passionate about. I feel like maybe he only said that like to even hurt her more because he knows she's going to see it.
But I also didn't find him to be the type that would like purposely hurt her. He seems so,
maybe just,
like he's so matter of fact. Just like, he's a little scientist. Yeah. Like he just says things, and maybe he just doesn't have a like social cues, and like
I feel like maybe
like he doesn't realize that that's not weird. Okay. Which there was not a conspiracy, but like these like TikTok rumors going around that like him and Zach are on the spectrum a little bit.
Wait, no, I didn't see that.
Oh, you haven't?
I saw the conspiracy about him like having a scandal with one of her friends.
Okay, I'm sorry. The people that think that he slapped that girl's butt when he walked out, you're delusional.
Yeah,
it was not.
You don't think so?
No,
I'm delusional.
You were delusional. Like the way it was literally like, hey, sorry, like, excuse me.
Yeah.
And all these people making these TikToks, slowing it down, adding this like suspenseful music. You guys, come on.
That's actually funny.
Because they're so gullible.
They did like the little like he said no, and like that friend like reached up and grabbed the best friend's hand, and they did that, and then they cut it to like the slapping the butt.
Well, that's the thing. It's all editing. Like you can edit anything and make it look a certain way. I can make it
like whatever I want.
No, everyone was like freaking out about that, and maybe this is like, I don't know,
a
hot take, but I'm like, you guys are stupid.
Like,
no,
I can totally see, because she was standing in the way of the door and being like, hey, sorry.
He knew that it was like an awkward situation, so he was just like, like
I'm
gesturing.
a conspiracy theory girly. I'm like,
I'm too,
down to like,
but like that one, I was like,
I don't believe them all, but I'm just saying like I'm down to like look into it and like investigate it
Yeah.
and like see
but
what I believe in and what I
Micah's
don't.
friends sucked. Like I think we all can agree that
for
Micah's
sure.
friends
Her
sucked.
her bestie is just so like controlling and
so
like
rude.
the thing too is that I feel like Micah looks up to her best friend so much. Like when her best friend was saying rude stuff about Paul in front of them when they were like at it was her birthday party, right?
Yeah.
And Micah like doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
And
it was
Paul
weird.
has to stand up for himself when he's like, yeah, I don't see it that way.
Yeah. No, it was awkward.
Yeah.
It was really awkward.
It was
Then
gross.
we have Tiffany and Brett, who I love so much.
Oh my gosh, they're my favorite. You could see from the get-go, they like instantly like making out, like the physical
and I love that they're age appropriate for each other. Like they're both in their 30s.
Yes.
They're both like settled.
Established,
Yeah, they're
yeah.
established. They know what they want and they're just going to grow. But if Vanessa asks one more time when they're going to have a baby or
It's
when
so rude.
anyone's going to have a baby,
Yeah.
Vanessa, please stop.
Right.
Like, why do you want a baby so bad?
right.
It's almost like they want to
and she also said like she wants another one.
Yeah.
So maybe it is that.
Well, she literally like was like, when are we gonna have the Love Is Blind first baby? When are we gonna have the Love Is Blind first baby? And I'm like, are you
yeah,
trying
she's,
to like be like
excited
The
about it.
Bachelor? Because The Bachelor always emphasizes on their bachelor babies, like
Oh.
the contestants who have gotten married and had babies.
Yeah, because they're like, oh, this really
This
works.
works. Yeah.
This works if you have a baby.
I'm like,
So who wants to
Vanessa,
have one?
stop it.
She's like just trying
Shut
to
your mouth.
promote her own show and her own job to like continue going.
Literally. And then when they had Bartiz, which you probably don't know who Bartiz is
No.
because he was from a previous
Okay,
season,
no.
but they show Bartiz with his
His baby. Okay, I did
It
see
was
that.
so awkward. I died. I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
turn this off. This is horrible.
I didn't feel awkward.
The whole
but
reunion
it wasn't great.
was just pretty awkward to me. And then we have Zach and Bliss. They're just two cute little nerds that decided
my
to get
gosh.
married.
Yeah.
That whole thing is just so weird.
It's so weird. His stare that like
No,
was so creepy.
He's a little off.
But it's like, yeah, he's a little weird, but he seems like he's super smart and
Well, yeah, he's
he
a
definitely
lawyer.
did not deserve the way that Irina treated him. And the funny thing is that people tried to tell him like Irina is this way. She's a brat, and she was just like her and Micah actually both were like gross.
In the beginning they definitely gave off mean girl energy because they
Definitely
were vibing off of
like
each
one
other.
of the girls just got broken up with. I think it was Amber got broken up with.
Yeah,
and
and they went and listened in.
yeah, and it's like they were like snickering about
Yeah,
her
no.
pain, and it's like,
Yeah.
you know, that this is just not the time and place. Like maybe if you're one, not on TV, and two, like
Right.
not right in front of her, like she literally can hear you laughing.
Right? Yeah. But he told Irina that she was there to get famous, and I'm sorry, every single person there was there to get famous.
Yeah, you're like trying to be on TV.
Because then he like plugged his own Instagram and was like, the receipts I have are all on my Instagram.
Then you
And
go
I'm
look at the
thinking-
receipts,
I'm thinking it's
and
gonna
it
be
has
drama.
nothing to do with Irina.
I was thinking it was gonna be like screenshots of Irina being like, Zach, I hate you, you're disgusting, you're gross. Like I thought it was gonna be
about Irina.
some drama, and it's about his mom and how he forgave her.
And we read the entire thing.
I was like, this is
Like,
not receipts.
I know,
What is
because we're like
this?
looking through like all of the like posts that he made, and it's like, okay, which one is about Irina? Because I thought he was like gonna close with something about it,
Yes.
but no, it was just all about his mom and like
and him and
Yeah.
forgiveness, and that's great, but like that's not receipts. I don't understand what you're like. Are you confused what receipts are? You're a lawyer. You should know what receipts are. These are not
Right?
receipts.
I'm like,
this is
you're
your
not
notes
my
app.
lawyer.
This is
You
your
would never be
notes
my
app.
lawyer. This
So-
is your notes app.
Like I know these are not
Let
receipts.
me see the screenshots.
Truly,
But also the DM that Irina sent to Bliss,
saying you dodged a bullet.
and they call her out.
But the timeline made sense because she was like, I messaged her that, and then I left, and I felt really bad for everything I did, and so I
Yeah.
messaged Zach, and I was like, I hope you can like reach out to Bliss and like whatever. I kind of felt bad for Irina because she obviously knew she was gonna get attacked at the reunion, and she still showed up. And I
Yeah.
think that's ballsy because Jackie and freaking what's his face
didn't even
didn't even show up.
Yeah.
And
oh my gosh.
and they're
poor
like they were like,
Marshall.
we're getting death threats, and I'm like, you don't think Irina's gotten death threats?
Right.
Like everyone hates her.
Right.
So I was glad that she came. I wish Jackie and Josh would have came.
You know, I'm actually happy that Marshall and Jackie broke up, because I feel like he was just way too good for her.
Yeah. Except I didn't I think it was the Toast that said this. When victims, like people who have like the victim mentality, dive into it so much that then you end up like not liking them anymore.
Yeah. Do you
That's
feel that way about him?
that way about Marshall. Like,
okay, yeah. I can see
he
that.
realized that everyone on social media was like so team Marshall, Jackie's crazy, blah blah blah, and he was like, I'm gonna lean into this a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And like use this as a way to make me look.
But I feel like just like on the show, like the way that he treated her was like so good,
So
especially
sweet.
when she would like push him away. Like he knew that she had like been through shit and that she was like hurting, and he was just like
Totally.
there for her. And so that's what I really liked about him.
No, he's a
but I can
sweetheart.
also see the other side for her, where he's not like, he doesn't have the masculine energy
Yeah.
that she needs, because I feel like she is like more of a masculine energy, and
totally.
so she needs somebody who matches
Totally.
it at least. And so yeah, but she's probably
Overall-
been with guys that are like so masculine that it's like aggressive and
Like almost abusive and toxic.
yeah, and so
That's what I
then
was
something
feeling.
like with Marshall is like the complete other side
It's
of the
boring.
spectrum. That she like felt so comfortable with that, because she's like, I don't feel any of this shit that I used to
Yeah.
go through, and so I feel like comfortable and happy, and like I could fall in love with this guy. But then I do get like realizing and like getting to know him more and being like, okay, like
This
the
isn't
energy
it.
isn't 100%. Yeah,
Yeah, but
so I see
now,
both sides.
but I do think Marshall for sure came on the show to find love, but also to be famous. Like he auditioned for other shows too.
does.
Everyone did. So
Everybody does, but they also hope that it works for them.
Yeah,
like
like,
I
if
don't
you-
think that it's 100% like just to get famous, but like
totally
if they fall in love while they're there, like
great
it's just a perk of like being on
of
TV.
building your social media.
Yeah.
No, for
Yeah.
sure. Overall, I will definitely be watching next season. I'm curious to see if Vanessa and Nick are the hosts, because everyone wants them out
Really? I didn't see
because they
that.
said it was so awkward.
Oh my
And
gosh.
here's the thing, like hosting a reunion is hard.
Oh, for sure.
And
Because you
especially
have to
because they did it
control the
live,
room.
which was really weird that they did it live. I don't know why, because
Yeah,
it
they should.
it ended up not even being live,
Yeah, I
because
saw that.
like they couldn't even get it to work,
I was
which
like,
is
didn't
like
matter to me
what?
because I wasn't watching.
So
I just watched it.
So, but
later.
Vanessa's facial expressions were just wild. Like the way she would be like, I remember. Like, so weird. But I kind of feel bad for her, because I know it's hard, like
Yeah.
hosting and like navigating a room, even with podcasting, like because I don't edit and I immediately upload this, like I
Yeah.
have to make sure that the conversation flows, and there's not always times where like you have all of the
it's like, okay, Josie, Riley's being quiet now. Think of something to say.
no, like you have to keep it going.
Yeah.
So I like feel for her, and I don't
Yeah,
think
for
they
sure.
should get fired, but I do think maybe do some coaching, some hosting coaching,
Some hosting coaching.
because it is a hard job. It's a job for a reason. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Figure
Maybe
it out.
Andy needs to be there instead.
But I do think
He's a Real
that-
Housewives guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is like with
He does
Vanessa,
a good job. Those guys are crazy.
seriously, but with Vanessa and Nick, like they're very invested in the couples, which I like, because it shows that they like care about the show. Where like Andy, I feel like he doesn't even watch the shows. Like he doesn't even really know
he
what's
just
happening.
like shows up, or he just like prepares like a week before
Yeah.
and like watches the
Where
clips that he
Vanessa
needs
is
to.
very much like she's like
Invested.
obsessed and invested.
I was actually surprised. I thought that it wasn't gonna be a year.
Yeah, that's way
later.
too long. That's way
what
too long.
the hell is going on?
We need
But
it,
it
like
was cool
3
to
months
see
later.
that they were still together.
Yeah,
It was cool to
because
see
I did
that.
not think Kwame and Chelsea would still be together, and here they are.
right
still
yeah
together.
which is kind of cool to see. So I do like it in that aspect, but I'm like so surprised, because then also you're like having a reunion on something that happened a year ago, and I can't even remember what happened this week.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, and I'm curious.
show me a clip, because I don't remember what I said a year
Yeah,
ago.
I'm curious if
And
they
you're a
have a
different
new
person
season.
too, I feel like.
I'm curious if they're filming this new season already, or if it's already been filmed,
Oh yeah.
because a year's a freaking long time.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
That's crazy.
well, that's Love Is Blind. Are you ready for Trash Topic Can? The final thing we do here at Weekly Trash.
Yeah, let's do it.
You're gonna pick out a topic out of this trash can.
Does this move forward?
Yeah.
Okay. I can see them. Okay.
There's a couple in there.
Maybe I shouldn't look. Okay.
What could it be?
I feel like sometimes when you do these, you're like, this one's boring. I'm like, why'd you put it in there then?
Well, because I had people request.
I just call you out.
Well, no, thank you for calling me out. Because not all of them can be like sexual and like dirty.
They can.
But then,
I'm just kidding.
but like, there's only so many
No,
sexual
I'm joking.
questions.
No, I'm joking.
And I had people
just put multiple ones above.
right? But then I'd be answering the same question over and over again if they like they pull it
Oh,
back
I guess
out.
that's true too.
And so I had people that request like questions, and I just put them in. And
no,
sometimes,
that's smart. I was totally joking. You don't have to.
I'm getting defensive, Rylee.
Rylee, shut the fuck
I
up.
didn't
This
write
is
all of
my
these.
podcast.
I didn't write
Okay.
all of these. No, if it is boring, it's whatever.
No, I don't care. I'm just saying. Oh, something else I wanted to tell you.
Tell me.
I'll tell you off air. Best compliment you've gotten.
Oh, that's a cute one.
Okay, I get this compliment all the time, and it's when people I get this all the time. Okay, I don't feel that way, but I get this all the time, and it makes me so motivated. Is like people will DM me and tell me that like what I'm doing inspires them or motivates them or has helped them start working out or lose weight or hit their protein goal or water goal. Like it's actually like it actually means something, and it actually helps people change their lives and be better. So that's probably the best I love when I get those. And I tell people, I'm like, you guys motivate me to keep going because it makes it all worth it because you're actually doing something that's, good.
Yeah, it validates your hard work.
For sure.
No, I like that a lot.
What about you?
The best compliment I've gotten is, oh, geez. Oh,
it's got to be something personality-wise.
Honestly, I got a compliment. It was actually my sister-in-law, and she said, what was the word that she used? Impressive. She said I was impressive, and I don't know.
I love that.
I don't know if I should take it as a compliment or be like, what does that mean? Because she was like,
you're like, so you thought I was stupid.
Yeah, you thought I sucked.
So you thought that I couldn't do this.
You. But she was like, you always like, if you want to go for something or if you want to do something, you like do it, and you do it full throttle.
That in like any aspect is really impressive.
Yeah.
So I think
I was like,
I think impressive if it's like an all around statement versus just like, oh, it's impressive that you've like done this with the podcast. Like, but if you've always done it and she's impressed, then I think it's definitely.
But it was a compliment I had never had before. Like no one had ever said that to me. Like,
I love that.
You're very impressive, and I was like, oh,
you're like,
okay. So it was like, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's like one that really stuck with me because I'd never ever been told that I was impressive.
Yeah, I love that.
I've been told I'm funny. I've been told, like, I think every mom has been told they're a good mom, and like some days you believe it, some days you don't. But impressive was one where I was like, huh,
it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'm like, I'll have to get to know you a little bit more then so I can
tell me if
I
I'm
love
impressive.
people like that.
Tell me if I'm
I love people that just like go for it and like do it even when it's hard and like crazy. Okay, the thing I was gonna tell you, you were talking about on Jay-Z's podcast about your downloads.
Oh yeah.
Right, and you're like you have 15,000 downloads or something, and you need like 30,000 or something. You should tell people at the end of every episode to download your episode because I had no idea that helps you. Yeah. You remember on Call Her Daddy when they'd be like, subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe. Yeah. Do that.
Do it, guys. Everyone subscribe. Everyone download. Go on YouTube. Give me a like. Give me a follow.
Actually, though, because if you want to support Josie and if you want to help her podcast grow and like be able to get deals and stuff like that, that's like how you guys make
it's one of those
a living in a podcast is like downloads, and I had no idea, and so I'm like, okay, download the entire thing.
Well, that's nice. I don't know, like a part of me gets like this anxiety of if I tell people, I don't know where it comes from or where it stems from, but I have this anxiety if I tell people to go comment or leave a review or follow or subscribe or whatever, I feel like someone listening out of like spite because they hate me or something, they'll do the opposite. And they'll give me a 1-star review.
Listen,
or they'll
there's
unsubscribe.
Way more people that like you than hate you.
Totally.
Especially if they're listening to the end.
Totally.
Then they're going to be like
anxiety.
They're going to be a homie and they're going to be a trasher and they're going to be like, oh, I didn't know I should be supporting Josie that way. Like, let me go download the entire list.
It's true.
I bet you your downloads would skyrocket.
It's true. And I get people that DM me and they say, show me how to download. And like, and so I need to be better. It's like just this like insecurity in my head that like,
don't be insecure.
If I bring any light to it, I'll get like the opposite effect.
No, I feel that. No, No.
And I just need to get over that. So everyone, go subscribe, go like, go download, leave me a 5-star review.
It helps Josie.
And it helps me.
And you guys, if you're at this point in the podcast, I'm going to assume that you love this girl.
Please love
You
me.
made it to the end. You're a trasher.
You're a trasher. Or you love Rylee Jenkins.
Yeah, I guess that could be.
That could be a big one too.
But if you're here, I need you to download all of Josie's stuff. Listen to it because it's good. So if you're here for me.
If you're here for her,
then you like Josie too.
Yeah. And everyone needs to follow you if they don't already. Rylee N. Jenkins.
Yes, Rylee Jenkins is taken everywhere.
That's crazy.
That's the sad thing about Jenkins. My maiden name is Anderberg, which I could get that anywhere. It's like German. But no, Rylee Jenkins spelled my way is gone. So it's Rylee N like Nicole, because that's my middle name.
Love it.
Jenkins. It's funny when people DM me and they're like, Ryleen. You're
like,
my name is not Ryleen.
You're like,
but nice try.
The N is just my middle name.
I can clearly tell you don't watch me.
You're like, you have no idea who I am. Tell me you know me without telling me you know me. Well, thanks for coming on Weekly Trash.
Thanks
this
so
was
much
so
for
fun.
inviting
Thanks for letting
me.
me dumpster deep dive into you. We got a little tears out.
I know.
We got to know it all, and
it's
it
a
was
good
so
little
fun.
therapy session.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
You guys have a great weekend. I always say that. I hope every weekend's good. I don't think there's anything exciting going on this weekend. Oh, it's my anniversary. That's right. I'm like I feel like there's something.
He doesn't listen.
There's
It's fine.
something, but no, he would forget. He would totally forget if I didn't remind him. So it's fine. So that is it for Weekly Trash, you guys. Rylee, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
And
I was so excited, especially like being somebody
I'm
who
so excited
listens
you
to
came.
everything.
Because you were a little nervous. You were a little skeptical at first.
I was nervous, but I figured like maybe I can get my what do I say? I told you I talk out my ass sometimes.
Yeah, but we love that.
I was telling Megan.
Carly?
Close.
Carly and Megan.
I was
they're the same thing. They're close.
It's her video lady. I just met her. I just like I get a name in my brain and it goes over my head.
Oh, names are the worst.
But I was telling her oh nice. Now I forgot.
You're telling her that you get nervous, you talk out of your ass.
Oh, when I do like my videos, like get readies with me and stuff, I have to like edit stuff out all the time because I say stuff. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't say that. Yeah, and I just like delete it. So I'm like, hopefully I don't listen to this and be like that.
This is unedited, baby. So I don't think you talked out of your ass. I don't think you said anything that you would make you go. Plus, this is your second podcast. You're a pro now.
I almost feel like I'm like, let me start my own. Actually, can I be your co-host?
You want to be co-host? Podcast every Thursday. See you there.
I'll be there for solo summer.
Solo summer, you guys.
Actually, plus Rylee.
She'll show up. She'll help me hold the baby. Help me feed the baby.
I'll just nurse the baby. My nipples still leak.
No way.
Yeah.
We'll keep it going so you can be my milk nurse.
Okay, perfect. It's not milky. It's like salty now. So that's disgusting.
Honestly, it's probably equivalent to what mine is.
I don't know how I know that though.
You're like, a little taste, just a little sip. Just want to see. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. We love you. And don't forget to take out your trash. Bye, everybody.